This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock on the old atomic clock on the wall. This is Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee alongside this week. Oh, my God. We have a stellar cast this week. Let me tell you. Kat Carlson is sitting right there. Barbara Seville is here in place of Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins rounds out the cast.
But I'm here in place of me.
Yeah. Wait, you're in place.
Welcome to the show.
Currently, you're in place of the wasted you from last Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
The sober you has shown up this week.
The last two Tuesdays, we went from
Early yet.
Yes.
yeah,
Totally.
whatever Jenna.
Jenny, our liquor
yeah.
rep.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I mean, she got me fucked up, and then last week I just got silly. I don't know what it was.
And then you stayed for an extra 3
Just very
hours
fun.
after the show, and we watched Joan Rivers things on TV. That was fun.
Did you watch A Piece of Work? Is that, yeah.
That and the PBS, or no, that
Yeah.
and then the
Fashion
the
Police.
Fashion Police tribute that they did, which was good.
Yeah, that was my least favorite part of Joan's career, so I didn't watch that. I didn't care for
It was hilarious.
It was
Fashion
hilarious.
Police.
I only watched the ones like after award shows, so I didn't know. I never knew it was a weekly show. I thought it was just something that they did
That's how it should be.
after the Oscars.
No.
Oh, that was 90 solid minutes of funny.
Very
Are
funny.
we going to talk about this later?
We can talk about it whenever.
Because I read a couple different things. I read that they want Kathy Griffin, Nene Leakes, or RuPaul to take over.
I was already told and read that it was confirmed that Kathy.
I read that wasn't confirmed. That
Oh.
was still a
Yeah.
rumor.
Well, then I
Because
did
I
not.
looked that up after you said
then
that. Because
I'm-
I thought that would have been a fine choice, but I think she's done enough walking through someone else's doors.
Then
it might be time.
Then
to,
maybe we will talk about that a little later on in
she
the
was-
old entertainment segment.
She was real offended because there was talk that she was vying for the job while Joan was still beaten.
Oh, still alive.
Oh, she was not gonna. Well, they weren't sure if they were gonna they were gonna tape a show. They waited like an extra day
Yeah.
to say like we're not taping this Friday show.
Right.
Well, they're not going. They're completely dark till
Golden Globes. But they did wait that extra day to say, yeah, well, we're gonna take 2 weeks off.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could see where you'd be like, I heard there's a spot open. Heard somebody's in a coma.
And you know what, Al?
How do
we
you
will
think
do
I
that
got
for.
here?
I was gonna say, Al, we'll do that for you next
The
week.
chair's
I
not
promise.
even
you.
cold.
I know.
And then what'll happen? Aretha will come out and she'll say something like this. So it'll be like, oh, what the hell? That's it.
Is that royalty
That
free?
is yes, it is.
Yeah, that definitely is because there is no song she's singing there.
I just love the fact this is Al's favorite thing for the day is Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, that's Aretha Franklin does Les Miserables.
what in the hell is going on?
on?
Oh, and for those of you who were with us last week, and I can't imagine you weren't, whether it was on a download or live.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you, really? I mean, how good things come out of this
I
show.
think it's so nice I listened to it twice.
And I want to get this out of the
There
way,
you
and
go.
so that people know that we did save it. We purposely paused the show last week just so that we could make sure that this audio clip was ready to go. And here it is. Oh, I turned it. Oh, hang on, I got to do this again, like this. These buttons.
Sit on that Butter Muffins cunt flap.
There you go.
It didn't pop up though.
No, it doesn't. But not on that screen. It won't. No.
Sit down and butter your muffins, cunt flap.
It's fantastic.
Nothing pops up on that screen at
I
this
thought
point.
you said a video clip. Never mind.
Oh, no, audio. Well, in studio, it was video.
Hey, I have a fun game we could play. It's called What's the Password?
Oh, well, I'll write it down.
Okay.
Actually, do you remember it, Kat?
I think so.
Stand by.
Yeah, because I don't.
8, 6, 7,
5,
5.
3.
Oh, that'd
Jenny.
be a good one. Jenny.
Yeah. See if you can program that into punch that into your computer. Anywho, boys and girls, thank you for being here. Show number 184 on this Tuesday evening, right here, coming to you
Really,
live.
184 shows? you've
Actually,
done?
no. It's you take 63 is the show we first
So
started.
100
So 21.
Yeah, 121.
Yeah.
It's still too many.
I've long wondered, why did you start with show 63?
George Michael was born in 1963.
That's fantastic.
That's
Good.
why.
Gun to my head, I could have gotten close to that answer. But I was drunk when I heard the story.
Just yesterday.
Yeah,
You were at work.
exactly. Hold on. I can't quite read that. Hold on. Let me just get the blurriness out of my eyes.
Yes. So so that's why I chose that because everybody else on the former incarnation of this network, was doing everything plain Jane. So I was very
Completely sequential,
specific about the fact that our first show was number 63. That was exact, and they all thought I was like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "There's a reason.
And
There's a
fine choice.
method to the madness."
Yeah. So eccentric.
And my method was to buy the network and take over, and here we are.
Winner.
Thank
Kick
you.
out the natives.
Winner, just like America.
It is the American way.
The Q-Talk Trail of Tears leads from 24th Street to 3rd Street to here.
to First Avenue. God damn.
Couple of serapes and a slap a hoe on the way.
Oh,
Well, we haven't
it's
offended
early.
the Indian
Not
nation
in a
in a
while.
while. Yeah.
Casual racism so early in the show?
Yeah.
No, unintentional racism? No, that
No.
was intentional.
Yeah,
There's so much intentional.
I kind of drove right into that one.
Last week
Do I
there
need
was
to add them to the list of lost listeners?
the entire.
Do you have room on that page?
I'm keeping a list.
She did. She started a list when she started filling in of people that no longer listen.
Things I can say that aren't worse than Redskin. That's the category we'll call it.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, I'm sorry. We lost the Navajo Nation last week.
Oh, who was it? Well, we'll just pick another tribe.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
That whole Squaw Peak,
They're all the
Piestewa Peak
same.
shit. We got that one too. We could, you know what I think is funny?
He had 100 years to tell me that meant bitch.
They
you know what I mean?
They named that. They renamed the mountain after Lori Presto, and I get all that. Blah, blah. But do you notice if you've ever driven up around the mountain, every road is still called Squaw Drive, Squaw Trail, Squaw this.
Oh, yeah, it still says Squaw Peak next left.
Yeah, exactly.
Piestewa Peak, Piestewa
So
Squaw
we're-
Peak's two left.
so-
Well, where's Piestewa? I want to hike that one now.
We're not going to commit to that real hard. We're not
Yeah.
going to do road signs for it.
Although Mark Martinez is very careful so that he doesn't slip up on the news.
Oh,
He's very careful to always call it Piestewa.
well, but you have
and
to.
I make fun of him relentlessly. I am the schoolyard bully on that one.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why?
I just think it's goofy.
Because it's fun to fuck with Mark Martinez.
Both points are fair.
I saw him just the other day. I'm going to his house on Thursday to install a new sprinkler
Does he know?
timer.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. I'm so far out of his age range of interest that he wants fair warning.
He doesn't even look at him.
He'll leave the house unlocked and know that, I won't take
that goes
shit.
both ways, though.
He
Yeah.
still looks good without his, well, doesn't lie. No, he looks good.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Without his filters, what were you going to say?
without being on a TV far, far away from your living room, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I remember one night at the club, he was feeling it and having a good time.
Oh, we've all seen that.
Good time, Monday, Mark.
Monday. That was back when his days off were Monday.
And now mine are.
Now his and Thursday. Oh no. Speaking of Mondays not being your day off, you are starting another. Is this season 3 for you?
Season 3 of Barbara Seville's Drag Race. I'm excited about that.
I saw the post and I'm glad to find out that I'm one of the judges.
But I saw the post and I'm part of it. Thanks.
No,
Are
I
you
knew.
free?
I am now. No, I'm glad to be part of that. We're doing that at, for those of you who might listen locally, it's at The Rock on Monday nights, the 10th, or excuse me, 10 p.m. starting on the 6th, correct?
That is right.
Every Monday. Well, that'll be fun. How many contestants this year do we have
6.
to beat up? Ooh, 6. Okay.
And
Wow.
now that I put all the
There's
information out,
enthusiasm. That's what you're looking for. Oh, sick.
now that I put all the information out and created the ads, I have people emailing me saying, "Oh, it's too late." Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, it's always, yeah, exactly. We also have to celebrate with you and all of us, I think, well, except Kat. She's not part of it. But, well, she's part of it on a separate team.
Her own team.
The
Oh, we're jumping into this so soon.
Well,
I
we've
know.
got to.
Let's just get it over with so we can be friends.
The Barbara Seville Wonderful 100 is by $5,000 out
is
in
it?
front of
Outstanding.
everybody else's
Well
team.
played.
Very nice.
How
Ben.
many people here think that Kat is holding on and pulling a stunt?
Like she's got 10 grand stuck away somewhere?
I
Or $4
they're not even registered, so I know there's some dirty pool.
Wait, she's...
I'm registered. No, I'm
Dirty
registered.
but
pool.
I don't see your team.
yes,
Did
she,
we fall off the top 20?
Oh, she's...
oh,
no, but,
gosh, sorry.
no, because
Yeah,
she's,
it's
she
okay.
was... Because I gave her an update last week of where she was like 18 out of 20. And
No,
now,
no, we're number 20
Oh, still hanging on. Oh, you're...
by a pinky nail.
out
But it goes
the
by
cat.
it goes by leaps and then bounds.
Where are the bounds?
No, I mean, but like you'll have nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll get a big day, and then you'll have
there you are,
nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I've never looked that far down the list.
Jesus, Barbara.
Well, that's where you find us.
Oh, yes.
But I think you've got something planned because you were what
Perhaps.
I would describe as a formidable foe last
Oh.
year.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we were very proud of all the money that we raised and all the people we got involved last year. And
It's crazy.
You know, we're-
Well, regardless of what you raise, I mean,
Yeah.
it's good to get everybody involved. Regardless if you...
Well, and that was my goal. It wasn't like big numbers. It was big people. Like, no.
Yeah.
Rewind. Flip that. Reverse it.
A little bit of both.
I was going to offend another group of people that might listen, but I'm going to stop.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, my goal was
The
a lot of
full-figured
people, not a
Walker.
lot of dollars.
Yeah.
And they ended up coming hand in hand, which was fantastic. So
Yeah.
We're
You
ho-
guys
we're
were number
hopeful
2 or
and-
number 3, weren't you?
number 2.
Number
yeah.
2.
Oh, well then.
$13,000.
Well then, by all means, you are.
I mean, that's
Calm down, bitch. She goes,
yeah.
You starting to believe that, weren't you?
I don't know. I don't remember
Back in
last
your
year.
pants.
But very good. I think it's great. We're everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. But what's funny to think is, what, 4 weeks are we out?
It was 4. Yeah,
20,
Sunday was a month.
25
Yeah.
days, 13 hours, according to the old countdown on the AIDS Walk Arizona page. By all means, if you want to, you can look us up if you want to join the team. If you haven't done so yet, you've got Barbara Seville's Wonderful 100. Also, there is the Cash-In. It's called At the Cash, the Cash-In Country. That is Kat's team from obviously representing the Cash-In bar here in Phoenix. So lots to go on. Do either one of you have any events coming up? Did you do Yappy Hour, Barbara?
Yeah, we did that.
Or did that at the bunkhouse,
we've
right?
We've done Yappy Hour. We've done our dining out thing at Chico's.
Right.
Next up, we've got Drag Brunch, and we've got a registration event at Cobalt. We're excited about that. And then our bar tour. We're doing a bar crawl again.
Oh, cool. I can think of a bar that might not be on that list.
I think you might be right.
We're a little far to bike to. It's okay. We understand.
No, not yours.
There's actually
we
a
might
bus.
stop there.
There's actually a bus.
That's what we're trying to get. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. If I only owned one, I could then I could drive this all around. But I don't.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it so.
Hey, if anybody's got a 12 grand laying around, I have there's a completely converted wonderful bus I'd love to buy, but that's a lot for right now.
Is there any return on my investment?
You get to ride around in a bus on bar tours.
And you get to feel good about it.
Yeah.
I'd be
Okay, so I'm saying it no.
exactly. I'd be willing to put it all on red and try and double it, but
That'd be nice.
Because you know me, translate that into dollars.
yeah.
Hey, Clayton, I want to share a link on my Facebook page so people can listen live. How would I do that?
You can do it. Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I was going to say you could do it in the chat room, but then they wouldn't know where you were going.
Fair point.
The fastest would be to go to Clayton's page and just share his recently shared link.
Thank
That,
you.
oh, look, Kat is our IT girl of the week.
Someone came to work.
I sure did.
Alert.
She is so prepared.
She's
At least
on
once
it.
this week.
Is that gmail.com?
That is gmail.com.
Or gmarl. Okay, gmail.com. I'm sending you something for your
fantastic.
other stuff.
Oh, we have a lot going on. We have since Mari, what's her name? What do you call her?
I don't know. The way
Margaret,
Mariah.
Yeah, Mariah.
Marnstance.
Since she is on vacay for a couple of weeks, taking over.
She's at a Fleetwood Mac
and
concert.
headlines. Well, she's still taking off for this show. So.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, but wait, is she at a Fleetwood Mac concert with Christine McVie? Because
Yes.
that's special.
She came back.
Yeah. Okay. There's
Christine
that.
McVie came back.
There's that. She needed the money.
Yeah.
Oh, you had something to add to that?
Yeah, because I was excited that Christine McVie was coming back.
Sure, I would be too.
That's what I hesitated at first because she wasn't coming and there was a bunch of stuff like no one asked her. Of course we asked her. No one asked her. And then I think her cable bill came due and she's like, I'm going on that tour.
I need.
This showtime's expensive.
Yeah, I need $47 right
I think
now.
it's in England it's called Showplace.
Oh, and they pay for it with what, pounds? She's got to get pounds.
I don't know.
Whatever it
I
is.
would think so.
The Queen's money. Who knows?
Shillings, perhaps?
Oh. How many shillings for your shoes, sir? I don't know where that came from.
I don't either. But I love it when they're the early part of the show where you try accents of different nations that you and none of us know.
And that I've never been to.
It's so much fun when he imitates people and I have to guess who they are and then he has to tell me.
And you can't tell if it's a southern drawl or a
Oh, I could probably.
Cockney,
no, the southern I can probably do
chimney
just
sweep.
from life experience. I can probably do that.
There was I went to a movie in LA yesterday and when you do their little kiosk, the accent for ArcLight, it's an Australian person talking. And the lady next to me goes, "Ooh, Boston." And I'm like nope.
Boston.
And Harrison
no.
was so busy chatting her up about the movie that I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna be stuck with this woman."
Did you happen to find
But
the
we
chat
lost
room?
her.
So are you in the chat room with us too?
way ahead of you, sugar.
Guys, want to make sure, Barbara, want to make
Gotcha.
sure every possible way to irritate listeners you have access to.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's good. But, well, starting around the table, Kitty Cat Carlson.
Goodness gracious.
What you been up to?
Well, it's been kind of busy. We decided to go on a last-minute one-day camping trip on Thursday of last week.
Does that count if it's just
Fun.
a day?
Yes, it does.
I mean, we slept in a tent, so I think it
Oh,
counts.
okay,
Yes,
my
yes,
bad.
it does.
And
Counts.
you weren't evicted, so that's really camping.
No, we
All right.
we still
I'm sorry,
were
when the
able to
cable
come back
goes
to
out,
our-
it's camping. So let's be clear.
No, we took the kids up just past Payson and a little state
Did they come back with
campground,
you?
and They did. Yeah.
Mostly.
They were delightful. We had a wonderful time.
Was
that's
school
nice.
was school out?
School was out, yeah.
Oh.
The school district we're in, they call it fall break, but it's really what is it?
Teacher
Rosh
conference?
Hashanah? No,
No.
it's the Jewish holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Well, in Scottsdale, they got to let them out.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I get it.
Well, they sneak around Easter too,
Absolutely.
because they can't call it Easter.
So
Yeah,
it's
they
spring
can't
break.
call it Easter,
Yeah.
and they can't call it Rosh Hashanah, and they can't call it Christmas, and they can't call it anything else. So they call it
Criminy.
winter, spring, and fall breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and it turns out that's a whole lot more work with kids than it was without kids.
Oh yeah.
Because it used to be pack up the tent, put some beer in a cooler and some hot dogs, and off you go.
Yeah. Oh.
But now you have to
Yeah.
pack beer for kids.
Yeah,
and you go.
Exactly.
And additional
now
hot
you have
dogs?
to pack the near beer, more hot dogs, entertainment.
And then when you find out they don't like Pop-Tarts, I mean, that's your whole foil meal plan out the door.
Those are like
I
rations
know.
from the military because they're all sealed up and they're ready to go.
Oh, they're all sealed up.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who can't see, we have Pop-Tarts this week. We talked about them a lot last week. Now Kat was kind enough to bring strawberry and blueberry,
blueberry.
and then Al discovered,
Raspberry.
which was
While eating raspberries,
God.
and they clearly know what fruit they're pretending to be because the picture
pictures
matches the real
matches,
thing.
right.
They did a good job.
But what I want to know, you said that before this new discovery, that was not a known flavor.
No, but you remember, I've not been allowed down the Pop-Tart aisle for many, many years.
How did you get these?
They're right near the oatmeal aisle, which I'm allowed down. Actually, it turns out it's on the same thing. I just have
Same
my
aisle.
my state-sanctioned mental block up.
Okay.
And as I look to the left, I'm like, oh, I see something frosted by the
And there it
pricking of my
was.
thumbs kind of deal. And then I had to look at the flavors and see what was still available. Yeah. I just remember there being like dwarves or munchkins or something on the box. Am I making that up?
No,
That's
that's
Snap-
cookies. That's
that
the
looks like
Keebler
Snap
Elves.
Crackle Pop is what you're thinking.
Yeah,
of.
you're thinking of Rice Krispies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there were
Also
no.
a Kellogg's product. So
Right.
same company.
Oh, well, yeah, true.
So I'm just mixing up all my logos.
Because who
They downloaded that font and goddamn it, they're using
use
it.
it, right?
God damn it.
Gonna get their money's
I
out
know
of
a
that.
lot of bars that feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate that you associate dwarfs and breakfast food. I think there's a
Yeah.
good kind of a
I think it's healthy.
yeah, sure.
Those are on the list. Let me be clear. Those Pop-Tarts, not dwarfs. Those are on the list of things I remember being much better.
Oh, when you were younger.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, like I treated myself to something from Fry's, like a Hostess cupcake or something like that, and it just tasted like wax and grease. It was really
they-
horrible.
First of all, they took all the trans fats out.
That's what ruined
Now
the.
that-
Oh, is that the
ruined
problem?
It. Yeah.
But nothing good's
sure.
going to
They
happen.
took
Something may
the
have
dolphin
actually
out
been
of the
good in the
tuna. They
80s.
took the trans fats out of the sweets. Yeah.
Well, and that's
You
why
know-
the McDonald's the French fries are not what they used to be in the 80s either.
I still love them though.
Yeah, the old gray mare just ain't. Oh, I was thinking that about you. I'm sorry. I thought.
Oh,
It works on so many levels.
My bad.
One for
Hey,
Al.
Don. Yeah, no, we got to work on a 911 call. The director of that particular program is Mr. Clayton McKee, so he just
I
surprises
have.
us with
I
that.
do to surprise them, and I have to find a good one that I can.
We, the humble players, have no part.
No, other than, can you be a Southern gentleman this week, or can you be a black man? You know, what's it? The Reverend Lowdown.
Reverend Lowdown.
Yes, we'll have to work on another 911 call because that is a good time for the.
Yeah, because we haven't had any letters from the NAACP yet.
Oh, the dream.
Glad calls to tell us to fuck off in weekly, but
Do they? Tell them I said hi.
So
quit bashing every other letter besides G and L.
I was at
That's
You're
only
mean
because there's an
bullies.
L at the table.
I was at a show this weekend, and someone said, "Oh, here, Barbara, we have something for you from Glad." And I said, "I don't want that shit," because I thought it was from
You thought it was from the Dart
that
League?
goddamn Dart League. I figured they wanted me to do a benefit for them, or
Or play darts.
What is it? The Gay
Go play-
Lesbian Arizona Dart League?
something like it. But this was actually the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation,
Right.
or whatever the hell.
I don't want that shit.
That's literally what I said.
That is hysterical.
And it was actually a nice invitation to a dinner with the McCains.
Which you found out after you got it out of the garbage.
And
Let me try
2
to
days
reassemble
late.
that thing I tore up in a temper tantrum. I don't know nothing from your
So,
goddamn Dart
when-
League.
when
Write
is it-
down Dart League on the
I think it's next week. I
Are you
forget
gonna
when
go?
that- Yeah, I'm gonna go. It's where is it gonna be? It's somewhere right here. But Cindy and Megan McCain.
Uh-huh.
Okay, John's not coming.
I'm thinking John won't be there.
No, or what's his boyfriend's name? Lindsay? His husband?
Lindsey Graham?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lindsay O'Lins.
It's the one that is, John Stewart says, the one that holds his
Do you want to
purse.
be my plus one, Clayton?
What day? Oh, wait. What day of the week?
I don't know. I'll find out.
Because I got to go to Vegas I probably can't because I leave immediately after the show next week to go to Vegas for 4 days to install
I got a show to
up there.
do.
Charlie's Vegas. I got to install. At least it wasn't Glad Trash
That's
Bag
exactly
Smalley.
what I thought you were going to say.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to be like, I thought it was those goddamn trash bag people.
Yes.
Don't be sad.
We've got a dress for you. It looks like a trash bag.
Because it is.
No, I'm just anti so many of those groups right now because, and you probably understand this, Kat. All these organizations or teams that only know you when they need something.
Oh, of course.
Right.
and I hate to say it, but they're on that list.
There that is. Did this invitation specify, are you going as Richard or as Barbara?
It was addressed to Richard Stevens.
Oh.
Stevens was spelled wrong, but
Well,
close
P-H-E-N-S.
enough. Yeah.
Well, they got
You
close.
can't have everything.
What?
Either
Jesus,
get them up in
Barbara,
your
we got
mouth,
3 hours.
Or
Calm
you dress
down.
as a woman.
You know what's funny?
Not this show at this moment.
My grandmother, her maiden name was Stevens with a PH, and she married
Oh,
Stevens
she's
with a
Steven.
V. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's
That
kind of
is
cool.
crazy.
That's a little bit of well, not really Barbara trivia, but it's interesting.
She didn't have to change the initials on her monogram. Huh?
She just doesn't want to get new towels.
They were hill folk.
Oh, even Buddy's listening.
Oh, why?
Buddy, if you got time to listen, why aren't you fucking here, bitch?
Yeah, I've got to do sports. That's going to be painful.
Don't lose your shit, Cad. Clayton doesn't have the studio covered for
And I
that.
only do that stuff at work, so keep it in your pants.
Not okay.
Yeah. You know, you can take
Metaphorically.
the entire seal
You
off of
can
it.
just shut up.
God, have you ever seen somebody having so much difficulty getting peanuts out of a jar?
That's, you know how much people pay me to take the whole lid off something? Jesus
don't know.
Christ.
Hello, ladies, and cat, according to Buddy.
Oh, he's sweet.
There he is. All right, so did we cleared this up? Kids, you brought them back. You went
Oh my God, I
camping.
thought
There
we
were-
moved on from
and
me
there
like
were-
an hour ago.
No, we did, but I just want to make sure we wrapped up with whatever you had to do.
Did you bring back the
Fantastic.
same kids?
Yes.
Okay.
How
Ooh,
much? And
now
beer?
there's a follow-up question
You need
worth
to-
asking. Yeah.
You can't just start bringing kids home.
As it turns
I
out, there's
know.
not a lot of people camping in September on a Thursday night, so we were virtually the only people in the campground.
Nice.
So-
Now that just sounds like a serial killer
Yeah.
waiting to happen.
There's
Sure.
And then we hid behind the chainsaws.
But yeah, no incidents. Some
That
bug
could be your
bites
new
and
segment.
what?
wonderful
Hiding.
time.
Serial killer or lesbian bartender. You could just describe different
my God.
behaviors.
Write down
many
times
lesbian,
I-
lesbian bartenders as another group he just lost.
I tried to throw shit and leave last week, and I got
Trisha
reprimanded.
Manel may be in that group.
And you think having a token one at the table would help, but
No.
No.
And when Marnie's here,
Alright.
she's a former lesbian bartender. You pick which one she's the former of. So
Yeah. She doesn't like when we ask her about lesbian bed death, so we're going to have to go with bartender.
doesn't
It's a real
understand.
issue. It's a problem.
I tried to ask her the first 3 shows.
I know she was have nothing
You
to
can't
do with
ask her
it.
about sex.
You got to work through it.
Oh no, you cannot
You're
ask
fine.
Marnie about sex. She
yeah.
does not
Oh,
enjoy that.
Talk about a woman who's
just
not in
beats
touch
right
with her.
up,
So
yeah.
She
yeah.
doesn't enjoy the sex or the
We
talking
don't
about
know. We don't
Yeah.
know. We don't know.
Based on the blushing.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Molly's inquiring about Kaylee campground locations up north from the chat room.
Is that Molly Montgomery?
Molly? Yes. Could you just?
She's so funny. She's one of my favorite people when she pops up on my Facebook because it's always funny and biting.
She always has something funny to say. She would be here, but
holler.
she works on Tuesday nights. Except
Cat
for
makes her work.
But she's got time to listen in.
yeah, because Kat fixed.
I want to
up-
work where she works.
Well,
Fuck.
she fixed
Cash
up
in country.
Wi-Fi up in the DJ booth at Cash In so she can
Oh.
get the show.
I did.
Just puts it on autoplay and listens to us for 3 hours.
So Molly does what every DJ has done since 2004. Just hit play on the iPod and listen to something else.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, I don't take requests. It's a set list.
Exactly my words.
When that little fucker at Stacy says that to me, and he's up there with his headphones, you know he's watching TV. You know what I mean? Acting like he's mixing
Colin.
something together. Yeah.
Any one of them.
Please, bitch. I have that same playlist. You got it off Genius.
Is that? What was that's what I call music 2004.
Yeah,
the CD
exactly.
compilations. Yes.
The cool sounds
Yes.
of 1998.
Brought
Brought to you by Phaedra.
Yeah.
or Musicland.
And I asked for something kind of like cutting edge and new on a night that he was playing dance music. And
The
he's
new
like,
Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, no. Yeah, I did. It's called like West End Girls or
Something like that.
something really hip. Really on point. All right,
Yes.
Barbara.
Barbara, what have you been up to?
Well, this is breaking news.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. You can't. We have. Hang on. We can't do. You have to do this.
Well, this is breaking news.
Yes.
My neighbor of 2 years, and we are thinking about moving into a house together.
Oh,
do they know it?
Fun.
Yes, we went and looked at it this weekend.
Very good.
how
Where?
exciting.
It's over. I don't want to tell exactly.
Well, no, but I mean, give us a
I don't
general.
want Molly Montgomery showing up,
She will.
soaking up free Wi-Fi.
Sure.
Get it where
I'm
you
only-
can, Molly. Get it where you can.
I'm only here to download large files.
That's okay.
personally.
Well, I have the fastest internet you can possibly get from Cox.
I actually do that outside of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Do you actually go in?
you can
No, I
stop
sit
by.
outside.
You
You
can
just pull
come
up?
here. I got
Well, I could.
I'm just saying.
I
now
have,
she
I have
knows.
internet at home too, but I mean, if I'm out and about
Oh,
and I
okay.
need to
Gotcha.
hook up, Starbucks.
Gotcha.
Anyway, all right. So
Breaking
you're
news, go.
looking at this house.
Yeah, it's in the Idlewild district. It's like around 11th Street and Clarendon. Great.
Oh, I know
great,
you are.
Great house.
Leroy Aswanya lives over there. He's been in there for years. He really likes it.
This is like a big house with a huge yard.
So Lucy can run around.
Yeah,
Good.
And my neighbor has a dog, so we're thinking about that. But we have to like decide tonight when she gets home because we have to
It's quickly. You have to do it quickly.
Yeah. So I'm really thinking about it.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. Apartment, because you've been in apartments for quite some time.
I've been in this apartment for 6 years, and I've been living
Wow.
by myself for about 10 or 12. That's my problem right now. Is I can't decide if I want to live with somebody.
That's a big
Yeah,
step.
yeah.
That's a big thing because I made that decision in the 4th day of September this year that I couldn't, and the packing has begun.
Where are you moving?
No, I will remain here. I don't want to move this fucking studio again. Done it 3 times just in the past couple of years.
So that's new for me.
Yeah, it is. That's big news. That's big news. So if the decision is made for a yes, when does the move would it potentially take place?
November 1st.
Wow.
Right after the Halloweeny.
And the AIDS walk.
Yeah. Well, at least you get those things out of the way.
Yeah.
And then boom. All right.
But it'd be really nice to have Thanksgiving there because it's seriously a huge house, a huge yard. There's a fire pit. It's incredible.
Very cool. Well, nice. Well,
Very exciting.
We all will give good thoughts towards that, Barbara. And it would help to get you out of my neighborhood because you live really close to me here.
Come by too often, don't I?
No.
You don't mean that, but I won't be as likely.
No,
to
but
pick
by
you
the
up
way,
when
I
I'm
have
gonna
the
be
air
there.
compressor all full so I can check your tires before you leave because I figured that's going to be on the
thank
list of
you.
things to do.
Thank
you. And Alfred's. I almost called you Fred.
I like that you just. Well, a lot of people call me Fred, so that's all right. I don't mind that.
I've never heard anybody call you Fred.
Back home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's Alfred, so it really
Right, no.
it comes up more than it should.
Oh.
But it's another one of those ones I just made my peace with, and I just answer to it like I don't really care.
Like bitch.
Yeah, well, actually, I embrace that one. I don't think it's really a nickname if you thought of it yourself.
Well, there is that. Now, Perkins, you just came back from a whirlwind tour of the Los Angeles area.
I was in beautiful downtown Pasadena, which I have to fully endorse Harrison's move there because she already works there, but now she's moving from her apartment in Echo Park. She's moving to I think she's moving to Altadena, but it's just literally higher Dina.
Hi, Dina.
Hi, Dina. So she's moving up there, and it's a lovely little area. So I went to see her. I would stay in Pasadena to be close to where she was moving. Mm-hmm. We weren't sure of the timing of her move. I think she moves next weekend. But I went there to, of course, see Harrison. But then the Grammy Museum has the Donna Summer exhibit on the 4th floor.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, well, no, I was going there for that.
Okay,
I don't think anybody was harboring any illusions that Donna Summer wasn't the lure. I love Harrison, though. There's no way to say that, though, coming out completely wrong. But so we did the museum.
The Grammy Museum?
The Grammy Museum.
It's so cool, isn't it?
It's really a lot of fun, and I would happily go back there and spend. I could lose myself for a day there. Lots of cool exhibits. We went to the Pasadena Playhouse, which is a charming little theater in Pasadena.
And
a lot of good things have come in and out of there. We saw Kiss Me Kate, which was supposed to have Wayne Brady, but he was on vocal rest. So we saw an understudy who was very good. And the cast was amazing singing, really nice orchestrations. It was kind of like their black theater. I don't. That's how they were pushing it as part of the black theater experience. So it was an all black cast doing Kiss Me Kate, which I found kind of funny because when I saw it on Broadway 14 years ago, it was Brian Stokes Mitchell and Marin Mazzie, so it was kind of mixed. So I mean, I had already seen someone of color playing whatever his name is.
It's hard to tell exactly what color Brian Stokes Mitchell is.
When he wants to be more black, he adds the Stokes Mitchell. When he wants to be like more vague, he's Brian Mitchell. The Stokes Mitchell is when he's being more ethnic.
I'm trying to remember what I saw. I think I saw him in Women on the Verge. I think he was in that.
And he's an amazing performer. I had seen him in Ragtime with Marin Mazzie, and LaChance had taken over for Audra McDonald, and I was so like.
Did you call her Audrey?
Audra.
Okay.
I don't know if I did, but I know who she is, because she comes up and she's going to come up in entertainment too. So I had seen Ragtime and been like so blown away by Marin Mazzie and Brian Stokes Mitchell, that when they came back the next year to do Kiss Me Kate, because other people loved them too. I went to New York especially to just to see them again in something else. And it was a fantastic show. So I really enjoy this show. And this was really great voices. They had done some really nice, like, music arrangements to fit the different voices and to make it a different, because it was supposed to be like the Negro Theater presents, like when they dropped the banner, the time that I saw it, it was, and I can't think of the main character's name, but he's playing an actor, and it says written by, directed, starring, and then it has a little asterisk, and it says, based on William Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about. So it was all this thing, and this was the Negro Theater Group presents Kiss Me Kate, or. So it was very charming, but the staging, and it was a really famous director, Sheldon Epps. Like, this is like a world famous director. He's directed sitcoms, he's directed theater, he's multiple award winning. It was one of the most boring stagings of a show I have ever seen. So you have these people like giving it all and like going full tilt on the performances, and then they would just walk in a circle. Or they would stand completely still and deliver their lines, and I'm like, oh my God, who is directing this? Like, for the whole second act, I wanted to be, can we just take a break and talk to the director? Because you are killing people in the middle of fantastic numbers. There was 2 like show-stopping numbers that the audience was like, oh. Like, you just didn't know what to do with them, because they would just all lose animation and stare at you and like, oh my God, who directed this shit? And then I went home and Googled it. I'm like, this is a famous guy. But it's great music. It's a lot of fun, very tongue-in-cheek. And I'm sure Wayne Brady is very fun, because you're supposed to be playing a megalomaniac, so he really is. With everything that he could do, I'm sure he added something different than the understudy did. And then we saw... Oh, Harrison, help me with the name of that group. We saw Thievery Corporation with Stephen Marley as the opening act, and it was really fun. We were at the Greek. I had never been to the Greek, and neither had Harrison. And those of you who remember Neil Diamond's great triumph, A Hot August Night, live at the Greek from the 70s. It's on my list of things I've always wanted to go to.
Okay.
Based on something that was on HBO in the 70s, which was A Hot August Night live at the Greek.
Not the terrible movie Get Him to the Greek?
Same theater, but a horrible movie. But it's a lovely, lovely outdoor theater, very similar to the Hollywood Bowl, not as fancy, a little bit more intimate. And it's up in the hills again above, I think it's above Hollywood, just above Hollywood. And it was a beautiful night, beautiful, cool night. And both
LA gets their cooler nights before we do, and we're just now getting ours.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
but plus
night
you're up in the
Sundance.
hills, so you're just you're little up high, and it's really fun to hear it. Everybody around you is smoking pot. There's people like dressed as complete fools dancing in the aisles to shit that you should never dance to, but they're so stoned they think it's dance music. And it just got funny, and I was talking all night about needing a grown-up jacket, because all I have is hoodies. I haven't worn like an adult like jacket like outerwear, because we don't need them here, so I haven't had one in years. So this guy walks in a little bit in front of me. He's bald, he's a little heavy, he's clearly older, but he's in front of me, and he's wearing like a sweater jacket, which I decided immediately is not what I mean by a grown-up jacket, because he looked like an idiot.
Mr. Rogers.
But a handsome man on a date with someone, and clearly an early in the relationship date.
Because he still cared.
Yeah, well, no, because he was being held hostage and forced to dance. Like, she had him in a vice-like grip, because this was her last chance to have a boyfriend before being killed by terrorists. Because you know how there's that thing of what'll happen first. Will a woman over 40 get a date or be killed by terrorists? And it's kind of neck and neck at a certain age.
At this point, yeah.
So she has her arm around him, forcing him to dance, and she started and I noticed it almost right away during the opening act. She started taking selfies, and it had a I'm on my first date that I met online with this guy he was kind of handsome, but maybe a new camera, so she didn't know how to use it, so there was like a couple selfies going on, but they were in front, like the section in front of us, but they were the back row of their section, we were the front row of ours, and it kept flashing in my eyes, and I was like, learn how to use your fucking camera. And then I kind of ignored it for a second, and then like a couple songs later, Harrison's like, okay, she's on 9. That's the 9th fucking selfie. And I'm like, okay, I had given up on it because I was so annoyed that I'm clearly no longer paying attention. But the flash keeps hitting my eyes. Then we get like into the main act, the Thievery Corporation, and it starts anew. And all of a sudden, everyone behind us, like we're in the whole back section of the Greek theater is like, stop with the selfies. Live in the now. Be present. And everyone's just, but she's oblivious because she just keeps taking, and it's the same picture.
Oh,
she's like a
Jesus.
foot taller than the guy she's with. He's clearly being held hostage with this arm, being forced to dance, and it got funnier and funnier and funnier. as I'm getting strobe lights in my eyes, but not from the concert, and a contact high that I will not soon forget. Because I started to watch the lights, and there's the big lights coming from behind you, and you could see the pot smoke. It says no smoking everywhere.
And it's just raising.
And everybody, even Harrison now, when she sees a smoker, someone is smoking, and she gets all offended and dramatic about someone smoking. We were literally surrounded by 30,000 pot smokers, not one word out of her mouth. But somebody 6 floors above us in a balcony, someone is smoking. I'm like, all right.
Harrison says, don't forget to talk about the Pop-Tart from Chango's, and also she counted 16 selfies.
She kept going. There's a place called Chango's just down from Echo Park that has homemade Pop-Tarts that were to fucking die for.
Not these things that we're gonna have later.
No, these were filled with what might have been real fruit. But oh my god, I didn't make fun of her in person. I waited to do it on this. But her with the smell of, she did it twice through the course of the trip, where she was like, someone is smoking. I'm like, we just sat in a theater where literally everyone around us has a pipe and a bong. The cigarette smoke 6 floors above us was the game ender. So that was it. So it was a really fun trip and a fun way back, and we crammed a lot into those 3 days.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Well, I saw your post. We were going everywhere, and I'm like, wow, Al's checking in everywhere.
Yeah.
You really
it was fun to check. I don't check in a lot, so Harrison, be lucky, because I don't do that a lot with people. I usually don't tell people where I am.
That's true.
And we had a nice day in Santa Monica, walked around.
Oh, I did see one of your pictures.
End of the pier that I was completely wrong. I must have hit the sepia button, because that picture is so shitty.
And I noticed it was different. I thought maybe it was just really overcast for some reason.
No, and I was taking a picture because it was one of those rare days where the sky was perfectly blue and the ocean looked like Hawaii blue.
Not in that picture.
And I saw the picture. I'm like, that just looks like I took a picture of fucking smog. So I must have hit some color button.
Congratulations on that. Oh, my heavens. Well, I haven't done anything overly exciting that I think of. I got all new tires on the car today, which is unexpected and wonderful at the same time. It's amazing when you get the right tires on a car, and granted, company car, I didn't put the tires on previous. Completely silence when it rolls down the street. I couldn't get over how much noise that fucking car made with whatever tires were on it before, some performance bullshit tire, whatever it was. Completely quiet. Makes a very big difference.
The word performance tire just means you're going to hear a lot of goddamn noise, and you're supposed to be
that's what I
happy
heard.
about
But
it.
no, these are the same size, but smooth and quiet. I'm very happy about that. There's that, because I'm driving the car to Vegas in a week, so I needed to have that taken care of. The other thing
I've never kept a car long enough to have any kind of tire problem.
Oh.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
How fun for you.
My little truck that I've got sitting across the street is 25 years old, and she's had a few different new shoes.
And I signed 17 waivers to get in that thing. Like, come on, wait a minute, I got to sign another line.
There's no airbags, but there's seatbelts and good tires. And I got to tour. Tour may be an overzealous word to use. One of our local restaurants is moving at the beginning of the year, and I went. Fez is moving downtown. You remember where Portland's was? Mm-hmm. Right, literally across the street from the Roosevelt light rail station. They are moving to Portland's, which I just found out because I'd never been to Portland's. Closed in May of this year, and they are taking over that space, completely renovating it. So I was there for a pre-construction meeting to figure out where stuff is going to go, so that I can advise
very
them.
Exciting.
So they're moving down there, which is kind of nice because literally you can jump on the light rail. And go right to their front doorstep, and then you could
so you can get the light rail from in front of the old Fez and right into the new.
No,
Fez.
quite. No, not
Yeah,
quite. But I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it's right in front, so I literally can walk to the corner here, get on it, and shoot down if I.
It's a great location, and you
Yeah.
have the whole rent thing about the business on the bottom to help support the apartments on top.
It really is a great space. They're actually going to be 20 seats larger than they are in the current location, so they'll be able to accommodate more and a lot of outdoor patio area. So I'm looking forward to it for them because
that starts a nice trend with the Vig Fillmore,
the Vig Fillmore's there,
Chibo, all those outdoor restaurants down there. And Portland's is a really nice space. I went there quite a few times.
I'd never been.
Portland's and Chevrons,
which
is now Pizza People's Pub.
Pizza Pub.
Fuckers that close it. Who closes a pizza place at 10 o'clock on a Friday? Motherfuckers.
Bring it up at the meeting. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything to do with there.
Apparently the pizza people.
I know.
They're clean copper clappers.
It is fucking communism. Hit that Aretha thing.
Oh, the Aretha thing. I forgot what we were doing. Oh, it's Aretha going what?
That's exactly what I said when I walked in there and they were closed for pizza at 11 o'clock on a Friday.
What was it you said? You said this.
Because I was drunk enough to be in the black woman phase.
What in the hell?
What's going on?
Oh,
And the best part about that is she's singing a song from Les Miserables. That's the best part.
I dreamed a dream. Right. Okay.
I dreamed a dream, and what the hell is going on?
The funny thing about that, when it starts out, all I can hear is, why can't I think of her name? The woman on Britain's Got Talent.
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle. All I can, when I hear that song start,
Oh.
I dreamed a dream, da 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 da, whatever the hell it goes, and I think of Susan Boyle. And
There was a time when men were kind.
And Susan Boyle didn't sing my hit song. I hate her. That woman, she, like, seriously, get her some sugar or something, because there is something seriously wrong with her.
I get offended whenever I buy something on Amazon and it recommends her to me.
I know.
It actually happens
more often than not.
Yeah.
That's for the gay window lickers. I'm sorry, but that is not right. Have you heard her Christmas album?
I don't. No.
You will recommend Crucifying Christ again after you hear that, because it's like, oh my God, end this season now. It's horrible. I had like somebody that wanted to hear it while they were in a coma, and the family was like, play this. I'm like, oh. So I put it on, and like halfway through, I'm like, stop, no. All my good thoughts about Christmas, like this is Sarah Palin's War on Christmas. She heard this CD.
Yikes.
No joy. No intonation. What's the word? No inflection. Like it's just, oh, holy night.
Well, she sold a ton of people love her for some reason.
Because she's white bread.
I don't think anyone
What the
actually.
hell is going on?
This is actually what I think. This is what I think about her. I don't think people actually like her. I think people just buy that CD for someone who they think will like her. Like that's what you would
Okay.
get your mom. You would buy that for your mom.
Yeah, you'll love
if you
this
were mad
woman.
at her.
My mom would not. My mom would not like that.
But you would just like you would buy it for your grandma, or you would.
Sure.
That's what I think.
No, maybe you're right.
My
grandma would listen to
We
it.
want Virginia to go into the light. Let's start with this CD and see if this helps.
Now this is. Now let's just get into the middle of this. Oh wait, this is
That's a man.
wait. This is Susan Boyle and Elvis. I don't know how the fuck that came to be, but I'm not gonna listen to any more of that.
He's working a lot this year because he's on
He's on
Barbara's
Barbara's
CD.
CD,
I know.
right? Yeah. Oh, she's singing with him on this. Oh,
The funny part about this is he would never even be seen in the same room as her if they were together.
Oh, because he was anti-drugs and anti-fat people while he was snorting a line of coke.
and fat.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's like me. There she is, letting it go.
Yikes.
Daddy, make it stop.
Yeah. I just like sing in exultation. Okay, now it's like ABBA. When ABBA used to sing and well, actually we'll go with Celine Dion because she's a better example. Like you can just tell when Celine Dion sings that she just does not understand fucking English because she sings everything in the wrong inflection.
Sure.
Like she just never has the point to the song down. Kind of like with ABBA, but ABBA's lyrics were so goofy that who knew what the hell? Like even in English, you didn't know what the fuck that meant.
There's that.
But Susan Boyle, you just think, is she from another planet and just hasn't figured out like what the English language means?
No, that's pretty
What
much
I
it.
know of Susan Boyle, it may be true.
Yeah.
It probably is. I don't know. She's got what? And what did they decide? What?
What's wrong with her?
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever been
I
properly
think it's just
diagnosed.
depression.
No, they actually there was a diagnosis, and I don't know what the hell it was, but they did.
It's nothing that a plucking can't help.
Hey, by the way,
Tweezing.
Bo, but by the way, I read or saw something. Those Brooke Shields eyebrows from the earliest, that's all the rage this fall.
It's coming back.
And they were showing how to make your eyebrows do that. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, if that's not natural, don't go for it.
Yeah, no, I don't understand why.
I mean, if you got them, use them. But
Sure.
Oh no, they were showing how, and then you put gel on them and you brush them up, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
well, that's how they used to make women in the 40s be villains. Was they would, if they
Oh,
brushed
right.
your eyebrows up and out, you were more of a heroine. You were the pretty woman. But they would then style them down to give you like that heavy brow, and that's how you knew who a villain was.
Heavy brow.
That's how they styled their eyebrows.
Heavy brows.
Thank you. Is it Charles Osborne? What's his name?
That sounds right.
Hey, Charles.
No, the guy Osborne. Robert Osborne.
Robert Osborne.
Oh, Robert Osborne.
That always has like stupid trivia that I like shit my pants to get to. Like, oh my god, I'll watch TV. I'll go to the bathroom in the living room just so I can watch Robert Osborne.
Incidentally, Susan Boyle, Asperger's syndrome.
Asperger's. I knew there was something that was
See,
going
but
on.
if I said it, it would sound mean.
Well, of course, because you're Al.
Because you would say retarded.
No.
Yeah, no.
There's a little bit of truth to it.
I'm gonna give her
I
that.
saved that for the Palins.
Sure.
and
And when Marnie's not.
when Marnie's right, because you've got 2 or 3 weeks.
No,
here.
but when someone's on that level that you know there's something wrong, I would never use that word.
Well, okay.
I would use it for somebody who's like just being stupid.
Well, we've wasted the first
Wow,
45
we really did.
minutes of this show doing that. So we'll be right back with headlines coming up in just moments right here on what is it? Oh, it's Q Talk America.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Are you ready for this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
All right, go look at headlines on what is this, a Tuesday evening with Q Talk America. It's the show. Exciting stories that may or may not mean anything to you. Donkey zoo sex scandal.
One rich motherfucker makes working parents feel like assholes.
Boy suspended over bad candy.
Turns out Swiss researchers are size queens.
Trucker holds frozen chicken for hostage.
Cat lovers across California will soon face a crappy dilemma.
Mom jailed after baby is found in the trunk.
Fourth DUI, also known as the flash your ass DUI.
And hey, remember that kid with the yearbook photo with his cat? Well, it just got 1,000% better. These and more stories coming right now.
And I didn't even make my picture yet.
May I just?
You can.
Pruitt just found in his own special way. Now that's where I might mean retarded. But I love you, Pruitt. He just found the propeller cat and put it on his Facebook page. But I wasn't somewhere where I could really go off on and tell him to go back and listen
to our show,
to the show, and all the joy of the cat with the propeller.
Flying fur. The fur is flying. That's what it was called.
Flying.
The fur is flying.
So Matt, I love you, and I love that picture.
All right, here we go with some of our lovely headlines. Well, Napoleon is back with his lovely Atancia. The two amorous donkeys were separated because of an outcry over their lovemaking. Well, they've been reunited back in a zoo in Poland.
And it feels so good.
Yeah. I'm sure it does. Yeah, yeah. The couple, together for 10 years.
There's a new accent.
They got into trouble.
Write down barnyard animals.
The couple who had been together for 10 years got into a little trouble when mothers at the zoo expressed outrage that their children had to witness their mating. Well, local conservative official Linda Dudziak took up their cause and persuaded the director of the zoo to have the animals put into separate pens. Well, the zoo later acknowledged that that was a big mistake Thursday, and they said that the donkeys are again in one pen after only about a week apart. Quote, "It was never our intention for any animals to feel uncomfortable because of their natural behaviors," the zoo said in a statement. The interruption of the long-standing romance turned into a national news item in Poland in the past few days. Nearly 7,000 people signed a petition to have them reunited. 2 fan pages appeared on Facebook devoted to their cause, with a total of nearly 10,000 likes and photos of the donkeys doing the nasty. Oh. Like. Experts weighed in saying that the separation could actually hurt the psychological well-being of the animals. Politicians were asked about it on the country's leading news programs. Quote, "Animals separated by sex into 2 different cages. It's complete idiocy."
Idiocy.
It didn't look right.
There it is.
Said Stefan Nizalawakowski, a lawmaker in
that word he got
in the governing party.
We'll never know.
You can read it in a minute, fucktard. Even the spokesman for the Law and Justice, the conservative party that Dudziak belongs to, would not even come to her defense. It's a level of absurdity that has been crossed to such an extent that I don't even want to hear or read any more about this.
The weird thing about that is that sounds uniquely, inherently American. I'm surprised that happened somewhere else.
In Poland.
Yeah, that sounds like something here.
In their decade together, the 2 donkeys have actually produced 6 offspring, including a 2-month-old named Taduz? Something. I can't pronounce what the fuck it is. It's European.
There you go.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny. If you go to a zoo, this is what really got me about this. When you go to a zoo where animals are supposed to be in their, quote, natural habitat.
It's obscene.
Wouldn't you just expect to see it? I mean, why wouldn't...
When I tell you about the place north of San Diego, the San Diego Zoo North version, where it's like the feeding and breeding place. And we went to get on the little safari tour through the bigger game and all that stuff. And the lady at the beginning of the tour was like, the animals are kind of frisky today, so if you haven't had the talk with your kids,
Do it now.
You got a
Today's
couple
the day,
seconds because
friend.
every animal was fucking as we went down.
Oh.
And there was a giraffe, kind of like a teen giraffe or like an adolescent giraffe is the right word.
Okay.
I don't know how old it was kind of like rubbing himself off on something. I mean, it was like every form of
Love is in the air.
it really
Or in
was.
the tree.
And the best part was
everywhere.
one of the drivers actually started singing that because it just got, by the time the third set of animals was just full on fucking, they're like, well, love is in the air. And
You know what?
We all just
That's
went
funny.
with it.
It's one thing when that happens at a zoo. It's a whole other one. It's a stoplight.
Yeah.
Well, where have you been driving?
Well,
Central Phoenix.
Around 11th Street in Clarendon.
Apparently, of late.
Goodness gracious.
I'll turn this all over to Kat Carlson.
Well, a U.S. dad quit his job, giving up a massive salary after his 10-year-old daughter gave him a 22-point list outlining all the events he missed so far during the year.
Wow.
As the CEO of a $2 trillion global investment fund,
Bitch gonna be happy when she can't get braces.
Mohammed I pronounce this
It's European.
He shocked the finance industry when he quit in January. I don't
We're
know why
just,
this is-
we're just
I don't-
getting to this now.
I know. Well, the thing is, it's all of a sudden all over everything, news, and like talk radio's talking about it. The View was talking about it.
Okay.
Like it's everywhere.
All right.
And continuing on, he said it was about a year ago when he was repeatedly asking his daughter to brush her teeth, but she wasn't listening. When he asked her why, she responded with a list of 22 milestones he had missed, like the first day of school and the first soccer game of the season. And the school year wasn't yet over, he wrote. Oh, that's right. He wrote a blog article about it, which is why everyone's talking about
Oh,
it.
okay. So he did it, but now he's just talking about it.
Right.
Got it.
Because now he's got to make money.
Right.
Let's try this
Perhaps.
blogging thing.
Yeah. He says, I felt awful and got defensive. I had a good excuse for each missed event, travel, important meetings, an urgent phone call, sudden to-dos, but it dawned on me that I was missing an infinitely more important point. As much as I could rationalize it, as I had rationalized it, my work-life balance had gotten way out of whack, and the imbalance was hurting my very special relationship with my daughter. I was not making enough time for her. He continued on and explained he was struggling with the same thing so many parents do, the work-life balance. Not the work-rent balance.
Yeah.
Which everybody else has to
Yeah.
deal
He's
with.
clearly not
because you
suffering
know the
from that
severance
one.
package from $1 trillion
Yeah.
company is probably going to keep him comfortable
It'll
for
be
a
all
while.
right.
Yeah.
Quitting is something he was financially able to do.
There it is.
But he recognizes that most people don't have this luxury. He hopes companies will pay attention to improving work-life balances for their employees. He now manages a portfolio of part-time jobs that don't require as much travel, and he alternates mornings with his wife, taking their daughter to school, and he often picks her up from school. So far, he says it's been the right decision for me, and he's so grateful that it's providing him a greater opportunity to experience key moments in his daughter's life before they're gone all too quickly.
I don't know.
There's a good chance she won't be a stripper now.
Yeah, there was a good
Just
chance that she
slightly
wasn't going to be
better.
a stripper in the first place.
Right.
Being that dad was the CEO of the $2 trillion investment company.
Right, because she would have then become a CEO of another company.
I'm not saying
but
she
she'd
wasn't
just
going to
been
be a high-class stripper.
But she'd just be a ruthless cunt who just rules with just
Yeah.
an iron fist in this because her daddy didn't love her.
Which, I mean, God bless him and fantastic for him. But the rest of the parents in the country,
yeah,
know.
quitting your job's not an option.
God only and it's so funny because
Suck it up, Buttercup. I'll be there tomorrow.
Seriously.
Yeah.
just today I picked the kids up from school and they'd been at their dad's for the weekend, so it was kind of a long absence. And the oldest says to me, he says, "Do you have to go to work tonight?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm going to go do the radio show tonight." And he's like, "Oh, why are you always working?" I'm like, "Do you like having money in the house? Do you like having food?" Like he was kind of almost
Yeah,
trying to
because
lecture me.
this
Yeah.
show's really contributing to that.
Well, shh.
Yeah. Look, not old enough to get the receipts.
This is my equivalent of poker night with the buddies.
Yes.
This
Yeah,
is
there you
what I
go.
do.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
If anybody ever asks if anybody cares where I am.
Poker night.
at Clayton's house. Yeah, exactly.
Can we start that? Because that sounds like fun.
No. Table's not big enough.
Somebody invited me to a poker night recently. Was it
totally
you?
big.
Probably.
Was it?
Somebody on Facebook? I saw.
Oh.
No, it might have been a bar thing.
yeah, I think it was from
Yeah.
you.
I might be in.
Oh, well, there's that. Well, this is where I want to
You don't
factor.
want to do that. It's outside and they all smoke constantly. It's like competitive smoking with cards.
All right. And that's where I get offended by smoking.
This is where I thought this is the story that I mentioned earlier that I thought you would factor into because of its of a television show that I didn't even know this was the topic of said show. A New Mexico mother says that her 2 young sons were suspended from school after taking candy inspired by the meth-themed series Breaking Bad. According to KOA TV. Virginia Valdez says that the Reginald Chavez Elementary School in Albuquerque suspended the 10-year-old and the 9-year-old boy for 2.5 days, accusing the boys of being in possession of, quote, drugs. The blue candy is made to resemble the high-quality meth featured in the hit television series, which was filmed also in Albuquerque. Quote, it's not really drugs, it's candy, you know. I just think it's very unfair, Valdez told KOAT TV. School officials said the boys were suspended for inappropriate and unacceptable behavior and disruption of the educational process. However, slips given to the boys to take home said the boys were suspended for, quote, bringing drugs to school. I didn't even know that's what the goddamn TV show was about.
Oh, my God. So first of all, I'm late to the game on Breaking Bad, but I'm obsessed with it. It is seriously the most insane
I'm on the last
show.
season. Don't ruin it for me.
Okay,
I'm on the
so
last
I just
season.
ordered the last season just the other day. Like, so I should have it tomorrow or something. I have burned through seasons 1 through 5 in like a month. I am obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
It is incredibly good. I know the whole world knows this. Don't talk shit about it.
They hooked me
insane.
on the first season. I was like, what?
So what I get out of this story is I didn't realize there were varying degrees of meth.
Yeah.
But blue is apparently the good shit.
Well, it's
In
not a
the
real
show.
thing.
Right.
It's part of the show.
Oh, it's a fictitious part of the show.
His meth is so pure. It's like 99.93 something like that percent pure.
Okay.
Because he's a
And-
chemistry teacher.
Yeah, he's a chemist.
So he takes his chemistry history and puts it to that. The problem.
It sounds horrible when you describe it. You know what I
know,
mean? Like,
but
and that's
my
why I
problem
never
with that
ever
is- I think
watched
it's fantastic.
it. But no, it is incredible.
I've
But
tried
when you just
3 times, and I can't. I hate Aaron Paul so much that I just have to just embrace him at some point because I acknowledge the writing and it's all, but I'm just if somebody would just
brilliant.
tell me that Aaron Paul will get killed off, then I could watch it. But
Not
he
as of
drives
yet, I
me
don't know.
nuts.
if it makes you
I
feel
think
better,
he lives all the way to the finale.
he was supposed to die in the second season.
And really,
Yeah.
maybe should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But I don't know what and I always say that when people tell me that like an actor turns them off from something, I'm always so like, oh, get over that. But that's one that
I'm
like,
very that way sometimes.
Oh, well,
I-
that goes wrong because Jodie Foster and Angie Dickinson are two that I can't handle. I just can't. I want to take a bath after I see either one of them.
You know who I can't handle, and it's not a problem anymore, is Robin Williams. I've never been a fan of him at all. He would actually. That's one of those people that would turn me off.
Towards the end of the career, if I saw his name on a movie, I just instantly stayed away. Like after Patch Adams and whatever the other god awful thing was, I was like, okay, no more with Robin Williams in movies. Like he has worn out. He got to go away.
Girl.
Well, he took your word. And
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Sadly.
Breaking Bad, it's all about that, and then
Okay.
the blue meth. It's actually candy on the show. That's what it's just sugar water, but it's the purest meth that they can make. But it's not really a thing because
Okay.
they would never really show you how to make meth on TV.
what I take away from the story, aside from the fact that I learned that that's the blue is the pure. If you're a parent and why would you not be involved in your kid's life enough to know that they're doing that, or not doing it, but I'm like bringing it as a joke or whatever to school? Why would you permit that? Why would you not step in and be like, okay, that's a very bad choice, and you've made a bad decision? I mean, you have kids, Kat. So tell me,
I do.
what would you, or how would you handle?
Clearly, I'm a better parent than these people.
Well, you take near beer to camping trips. I see.
Yeah.
You're good.
At
It's true.
Barbara's suggestion.
Yeah.
I actually do for the kids, though. I actually pick them up root beer in, like, glass bottles at the grocery store when it's, like, Beer Friday. I'm like, hey, kids, it's time to... And we'd, like, sit in the driveway and drink beer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not that great of a parent.
What the hell?
I'm teaching agriculture to 9-year-olds.
Everybody
fine.
learned that.
Sure. But no, I think that kids are an amazingly informative network in and of themselves. And so I don't know that I would blame the parents necessarily because, like, big kids talk to littler kids, and then the message just kind of comes down. And, you know, if somebody, like, the kids that carried it may not even know what meth is or what Breaking Bad is. They just know that their friends thought it was cool. And, you know, that's how I ended up taking a Playboy to 2nd grade. Like, I didn't know why, but the boys were all about it. So I was
think we
taking
know
it in.
why
Yeah.
you took a Playboy to 2nd grade.
I grew up in Utah. I didn't know
Yeah.
what gay
We're gonna
was until I was
support you
19.
on that.
Yeah.
But so did the kid know it was supposed? Was he saying
It
was
doesn't. It
meth
doesn't
candy?
say anything in the story about that. It doesn't say that at all.
You know they're selling candy cigarettes again.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
they?
Is Joe Camel coming
As
back
candy
around?
cigarettes?
Yeah,
All right.
I
Now-
saw them at that candy shop next to Brand X when I was down there for AIDS Walk.
I've had
t-shirts.
absolutely no nothing for smoking. I've never liked it. Never like tried it once. Just thought it was
I
gross.
loved it. I miss it every day.
But I did enjoy candy, and I don't really like candy that much either. But candy cigarettes, they had me. I got it, but it didn't
like
lead
a little
to,
bit chalky, a little bit minty.
Yeah,
they
it
were
didn't.
yummy, weren't they?
Didn't lead to smoking in any way, shape, or form. Like I never, because
doesn't.
everyone around me smoked, and it was so filthy.
So disgusting.
That this delightful little treat that I had once in a great while, because I wasn't a big candy person, was like it had nothing to do with the filthy smell of my uncle. You know what I mean? Like they were not in any way interchangeable. So there's a lot of that stuff.
Show
that
me
I
on the
don't-
doll. Show me
yeah,
on the doll.
I don't get the leap that people make with that.
My mom caught me smoking, or caught us, like all the brothers and sisters, with a cigarette and smoking, and my mom made us eat the pack of cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
So I've never smoked.
I had a friend
never
whose mom
cared
did
for it.
that to him, and he threw up all over everything. He was like, "You got to clean that up."
Here, Mom. You're welcome.
Well, there were 9 of us assholes, so I only got a cig and a half.
I can't remember how many he said.
Hashtag youngest child problem.
Yeah, he might have eaten 1.5 and threw up for days. And his mom was like, "Oh, I can't do that."
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, it is the end of hour 1. Hour 2 is coming up. The Drinking Word with Al Perkins coming just after this crossover. More headlines from Kat and I, and I'm sure Barbara will chime into something, and Al's got all kinds of shit to talk about. Plus, it's the Drinking Word, for God's sake. Stick around, won't you?
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening again, everybody. A little after 8 o'clock here in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. This is The Show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee alongside with Kat Carlson. This week, Richard Stevens, also known as Barbara Seville. Hello! Just don't ask Facebook about it. And Al Perkins right here, rounding out the cast as we do each and every Tuesday. Oh my God, so many things coming your way, like, things you might actually enjoy. We're going to eat Pop-Tarts later. That's exciting. You ate almost all the rest.
I'm eating one now.
Oh, are you? What is that? You've got a bunch of muffins and...
Muffins and...
Don't point at her muffin.
These are gummy letters. I thought we could spell dirty words with
gummy.
them.
Oh, that's fun.
Haribo gummy
I thought they were
letters.
lifesavers. Pass me one of them.
Gummy
fuckers.
letters. We're going to make some Pop-Tarts. We're going to eat gummy things. And Richard has a whole thing of muffins of some sort.
I am a late
I
arrival.
thought we were
going
to be locked in or something.
No, we're not locked in. We have freedom to run around the house.
It might start raining again sometime in the next month.
Oh, I think we're done with rain for a good long time. I think so, but I'm happy about that.
That's not a fresh alphabet. And they taste slightly of weed.
I like how Al puts something new in his mouth, and it's like the whole world just changed for you. It's all
Well,
right.
I'm new to the gummy world because I was not a kid that
Welcome
ate
aboard.
candy. So since I didn't get into candy till I was like 40, and
Just a day
I just
ago.
found gummy bears,
Gummy.
the rainbow colored carnage. But oh my God, those grape gummy
Good
bears,
stuff, eh?
that's a thing of fucking beauty.
Swedish fish and cinnamon bears are where it's at for me.
Oh, I love cinnamon bears.
But this, I might be chewing this for a while.
It's all right.
Just take your teeth out. Enjoy it.
They are called gummy bears, so maybe that's the way you learn it. Beginning of hour 2, as we do each and every week, we start it with a little thing we call the drinking word. We have a little disclaimer so that we don't get sued, so here you go.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
What?
I should not find this word this funny, but I do.
Okay.
Rapier.
Rapier. R-A-P-I-E-R?
As in your wit.
R-A-P-I-E-R.
As in-
yeah.
Rapier wit.
Now you have two choices. It's wit and keen insight, or it's a straight two-edged sword with a narrow
isn't it
pointed blade designed especially for thrusting.
It's curved, isn't it? Isn't it like a
Nope, straight two-edged sword. I think I just said it.
Sword. Sword. Did you say sword?
Sword. S words. I'll take S words
My cool
for
whip.
500.
Your cool whip.
Oh my! Joel Ratner has been sending me all of the best quotes of Sean Connery on Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL, and when the category is really it's S words and it's swords, and the answer is saber. Just about fucking lose my mind. And the rapists and its famous therapists. And it's famous titties instead of famous titles.
He said appetites, it's ape tits. I'll take ape tits for 400.
Like once every other week, he sends me. I gotta find out what today's was that he sent me, and I love it that he comes up as the Jew in my phone.
Are they on the list?
Now they are.
Now they're brand new to the list.
As current as
The chosen people.
Called it God's chosen people. That's really what it should say. God's chosen person should come up instead of the Jew.
The Jew.
Say the whole word. That's a joke from Community. Just say the whole word.
Say the whole
Just stop saying Jew.
Just please stop saying Jew.
I'll take the penis mightier instead of the pen is mightier.
mightier. The penis mightier.
Oh, Sean Connery's rapier wit.
Oh.
But I just love rapier. It's a little rapier than you meant it to be.
Sure it is.
While I don't find anything funny about rape, I love the term
Rapier.
rapey. I think rapey is funny.
It's kind of funny. I find it just a little
Effective
rapey.
adjective.
Yeah.
God,
It's
so
an effective adjective.
So drinking word is rapier, like rapier wit, or a 3-inch straight sword for thrusting.
For thrusting. That just...
Or if you just like to use the word thrusting, I think that's enough.
Speaking of thrusting,
Yes.
researchers at a Swiss university said that this year's giant penis blossom is the largest the plant has bloomed since it started flowering in 2011.
Yay.
Yay!
It's true.
What?
I don't feel so bad. I listened back to last week's and I was like, I really don't pay attention when I'm there.
None of us do.
Scientists at the University of Basel's Botanical Garden announced Sunday. Basil, perhaps.
I just wanted to make it rapier.
Oh shit! Got a drink. Can I have a gummy letter?
Yeah. I'll take S words for 5 words.
Can I have ape tits for $1,000?
Scientists
like
at
a
the
K.
University of Basel's Botanical Garden announced Sunday the giant penis blossom, an exotic plant native to the Sumatra equatorial rainforest in Indonesia,
That's what I call mine too.
blossomed to a height of 100.4 inches, besting its previous blooms of 90.6 in 2012 and 80 inches in 2011.
I see why they call them that.
Yeah. Data for...
Are we Googling penis blossom?
I am.
I feel like we're going to get in trouble.
There was a picture, but go ahead.
right.
Google.
I'm on Google now.
Data for last year's bloom, if it had one, was not released by the researchers. It happens all the time.
Last year's penis was much better. I'm sorry.
The world record for a giant penis, or Titan Arum, is the technical
that
name.
is rapier. Yeah,
Titan
you're right.
Arum is
Yes.
much rapier. Was set in 2003 when researchers at the University of Bonn in Germany unveiled a 107.9-inch high bloom.
Ouch.
The plant is also sometimes known as a corpse flower for the unsavory odor it emits during flowering.
that one.
That one. Oh, the
'cause
corpse
it smells
flower.
Like, it smells like death.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was those were the two.
Giant penis doesn't ring a bell, but corpse flower.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
No.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that's lesbian bed death right there.
There.
If people get in bed with you and think, wow, corpse blossom.
Something died.
So there it is. Record-breaking.
Record-breaking penis blossom.
Did you look it up? Did you see?
No,
what
I haven't.
website?
No, penis blossom.
I know it now.
Oh, do you?
Oh, look at that.
I put it right there.
I
Look
provided
at that.
a link in the chat room.
It's huge. Oh, did you? Look
Oh,
how
thank
good
you.
are.
Because penis blossom went all wrong. No, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that
Molly
nice?
says that her mom makes a disgusting. Well, I'm editorializing here. A Jello aquarium with gummy fish, gummy sharks, and turtles. That really sounds horrible.
And my mama,
I'm sure they don't float.
Mama don't like Jello. But according to the Urban Dictionary, a cock blossom is a colorful ejaculate stemming from the male penis, usually secondary to an STD or STI. I love
Not what we're
Urban
looking
Dictionary,
for.
when you get a
Oh,
minute,
God.
just look up the Abraham Lincoln or the Dirty Pirate.
I'll do it now.
The Abraham Lincoln is just filthy, and it takes a long time to describe, but the Dirty Pirate, where they come in your end and go, "Arr!" is- There are nights at work where all we do is look up names on
I'll take
Urban
problems
Dictionary.
uniquely not lesbian for 100.
But if you could actually incorporate that into Talk Like a Pirate Day, you'd be good. It'd be great.
Come walk around ejaculating in people's eyes.
Come aboard.
That is disgusting.
Which one?
The Abraham Lincoln.
And it'll never leave your mind. You will never look
Would
at a
you
$5
like to share
bill
with the
without wetting a
listeners? Okay,
shower.
I wouldn't.
All right. Google.
I am going to provide a link.
You're an enabler.
Every time you pay with a $5, you're going to want to wash your hands twice.
I don't know what that means.
What
I'm
a
afraid.
stinking beauty.
Oh, let's move on, shall we, to chicken in a
Please.
truck. Well, a truck in Missoula, Montana is dripping of rancid juices from thousands of pounds of rotting chicken as it sits in the heat, attracting flies this past Thursday at a western Montana truck stop where an Idaho trucking company employee abandoned the trailer altogether. The driver left the trailer containing approximately 37,000 pounds of frozen chicken near the Flying J truck stop west of Missoula, Montana, after the company refused his requests for more money to deliver the load to its destination.
Was the company Carlson Logistics?
No, it was not.
Okay, good.
The chicken was worth an estimated $80,000. The truck was discovered this past Tuesday, which would have been, I think, last Tuesday, actually. It may have been left there for more than about a month. Napa, Idaho Police Sergeant Joe Ramirez said law enforcement officers are searching for the driver. He is a 42-year-old man named Christopher Hall, who had oddly been wanted for a parole violation and now faces possible theft charges. Hall picked up the trailer in Springdale, Arkansas on August 20th and was supposed to deliver it to Kent, Washington the following couple of days. Hall reportedly texted Dixie River Freight Incorporated several times saying that he needed more money to deliver it, and the company refused to pay him until he delivered the load. He apparently then abandoned the trailer at the truck stop, according to the police.
He's got a big load in chicken. I'm worried.
Right. Now the trailers
After reading the Abraham Lincoln, I'm very concerned.
The trailer's refrigeration unit apparently continued running for several days until the fuel ran out. Well, on Thursday, the trailer was
What is this story about?
frozen chicken in a trailer.
It's gone bad.
On Thursday, the trailer was
If
found.
anyone could appreciate bad meat, it would be you, Al.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been face down in it so many times.
On Thursday, the trailer was pictured surrounded by sawhorses, crime scene tape, and flies. As truck stop temperatures threatened to reach 90 degrees for a second day straight. Alicia Johnson of the Missoula City County Health Department said Dixie Rivers Trucking Insurance Company was in charge of cleaning up the mess, and it's not a simple job. It involves getting a landfill prepared to receive the load.
Oh, Lord.
Johnson told the Missoulian on Thursday they probably have to dig a separate hole for this.
The worst part is all I keep hearing you say is the load between reading
I
what
know.
a Simba is from Urban Dictionary and the Abraham Lincoln and knowing what the pirate is.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the Simba and you just keep shouting the load into my ear and I'm actually dying.
Now, there's a possibility of freezing the load, but that could make it harder to offload its frozen as it's all frozen together.
The lesbians are
stop
lining
saying
up for the
load.
frozen load.
Shannon
We can have children and not have to meet him.
Shannon Fairlot, the environmental health supervisor with the health department, said it would be nice to be able to move the trailer just once, but people don't want rotten chicken juice all over their cars if it's transported
rather
down the
have a
highway.
load.
He said there are things that are in raw chicken that can make you sick, and we don't want someone to accidentally get on their hands and then ingest it. So there is a dirty, rotten load of decomposing chicken in Missoula, Montana. Oh, cheese and rice. I knew when I read it the first time that regardless of what you were looking up on that, even earlier today, I'm like, he's gonna take this story and run with it.
This to Simba someone. After you come on his or her back, you swipe your thumb in it, turn them around, and wipe your thumb across their forehead while in a serious tone announce, Simba. I wish I could do a James Earl Jones voice because that's all I can picture.
That's fantastic.
Well, not picture because that's filthy.
Sure.
Oh, cunt flaps are clapping. God bless you, Don.
Pruitt says Simba is not in the Urban Dictionary. My friend Will Wolfter
It
is the
actually
creator.
happened to him.
Oh, not surprising.
Ever since my boyfriend called me Simba, I've been waiting to tell this story.
Good Lord.
Oh, my God.
From saying the word load too many times to problems with crazy cat ladies.
Okay.
California.
Clayton, pay attention.
Okay.
California becomes the first state to ban plastic bags.
Oh, yeah.
Governor Jerry Brown has signed legislation imposing the nation's first statewide ban on single-use plastic bags. He signed the bill on Tuesday, just today, in fact. Plastic bags will be phased out of large grocery stores starting next year and convenience stores and pharmacies in 2016. The legislation is meant to encourage consumers to bring their own bags and as a way to reduce litter. The bill preserves more than 100 local plastic bag bans, including in San Francisco and Los Angeles, already in place. Grocers support the ban because it sets a statewide standard and allows them to charge consumers a 10-cent fee for using paper bags. Sadly, all the California cat owners are going to have to find a new way to scoop the litter box.
Oh, they'll figure out something.
And dog owners.
Right.
When you walk your dog, going to pick up the poop?
No.
Because you want, depending on the size of that dog. But up in, we call everything by their white names, California, the Central Coast. There you cannot get a plastic bag there. And at one point, I like to put my dirty laundry at the end of a trip into a plastic bag to separate it from my clean clothes in that suitcase so it's not all filthy.
Right.
And I could not get a plastic bag out of anybody. And then in Temecula, it was the same thing. I'm like, I just need one plastic bag. And everywhere that we went shopping, they're like, we don't do that. And I'm like, for the love of fuck, what do I got to buy? I need one plastic bag.
It's been a growing movement city by city through California. They reference San Francisco and Los Angeles. Like, city by city, it's been growing and growing. And so now they've gone statewide. And yeah, hopefully.
I mean, I have 4 of those, not canvas or whatever they are, like Fry's bags.
The grocery
bags.
Because
they were giving them out for a while, and I don't know if they've stopped it or whatever.
You have to buy them now.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. I have a few of those. I mean, as often as I fucking go shopping, it doesn't really matter. But I have those. But I think everybody should... I don't think this banning of plastic bags is bad at all in any shape, way, or form.
Oh, no, and I've been doing it. I've been doing it for... It took me a while to get on board. Because the bags were shitty. Yeah, I leave them in my trunk. The ones they first handed out, like the ones I got from the AIDS walk in... the year that I got the big bonus bag, they had ones that just frayed. Like, you'd use them once in any amount of stress.
Sure.
And they didn't break. They literally, like, unspooled, and you'd be sitting there with, like, a handful of groceries and pink threads.
Oh, no.
No, they were terrible, but now a couple of different places that I've got them from. So you have to test the bag, because if you're just buying a shitty bag, that's just as bad for the environment.
Right, because you're going to just throw it away.
Right, you're just going to put
that. No, I have the Fry's bags I have are the black, nice, double handle.
So really look at them and make sure it's an okay bag. And I just keep them in my trunk. And it took me a while to remember, but then I've probably been a year at it of being like good about that. And plastic. You know what really woke me up to it though, was especially with water bottles, was the Malaysia flight when all they kept finding was garbage in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because there are
we found
icebergs of it.
Nope, it's just a giant,
just a bunch of shit.
Right, they found a lot of crap.
Bottles.
Well,
that's horrible.
Well, I forget that there's actually a name for that. The big islands of shit that are in the ocean. There's a name for it.
Yeah, there are, and they're huge.
It's called Texas.
Yeah, they call it a Texasized. They keep referring it as a Texasized.
Because they find these not whirlpools, but where all of the oceans come together, and there's sort of a vortex, and they create like these islands of trash, and they are the size of states.
But they thought there was only one until Malaysia. They didn't know about all the ones in the South Sea part until they went down there, and everything they investigated was just
crap.
Piles of garbage big enough to look like a debris field.
And they still never found that fucking plane yet. Still don't know where it is.
No, because they got to get through all the plastic bottles. So,
did anybody see we may have talked about, we did talk about this. This was on the show months and months back. The kid, and I say kid because I think he's in his teens, had developed the apparatus that was solar powered that would go out in the ocean and filter the surface water because of all the little plastic particulates that were in the water. And the filter in it was fine enough to filter out all of that, but leave the plankton so it would go back into the water.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
And but he was looking for funding. Like, he had done a prototype and shown how it would go out, and it would hold all of the stuff, and then they would just go to it and then empty it out. But all it did was, it's like a skimmer for your pool. Like, all it does is it goes around the entire ocean and picks up all that shit. It was amazing.
So we can
what's
bring
out
it
there.
back here and find something to recycle it into.
Figure it out. Do something with it. Well,
Texas Mayan for island of shit. Molly is so funny.
We can't get through an episode of this show with headlines without going to our dear Florida. A 19-year-old
penis of America.
A 19-year-old.
You need a Florida theme for that.
We do.
Oh, like a theme song?
Mm-hmm. We do. We have
maybe a Anita Bryant song.
Maybe we should get one like that.
Talk loud.
I lost the one we had. We used to have one that was called Faker, Florida, but I don't know where it is.
Faker, Florida, I remember that.
Yeah. Anyway, a 19-year-old South Florida woman faces child abuse charges after deputies found her 5-month-old child in her vehicle's trunk during a traffic stop.
And when I saw that headline, I knew it was Florida or Arizona.
Oh, okay. No. So Broward Sheriff's deputies say they tried to pull over a vehicle last Tuesday, but Breonna Watkins kept on driving. When she stopped, the deputy heard the baby crying in the trunk. Well, now, according to an arrest report, the child was lying on top of a pair of hedge clippers and was surrounded by dangerous objects, including a gas can, plastic bags, a rusty tire iron, and other crap you find in your trunk.
Because you know what? You don't want to fuck around and get a ticket for not having your kid.
I haven't even got to that part of the story
yet. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better to be with gasoline and hedge clippers.
Watkins told authorities that she asked her 14-year-old passenger
dirty syringes
to slide the baby into the trunk through the back seat because she didn't want to get a ticket for not having a car seat.
Oh, so the baby wasn't in the trunk the
No,
whole time.
the baby was on the lap of a 14-year-old, and she got stopped. She decided to have them slip it through the back, the ski access panel in the back seat. She remains in jail on a $7,000 bail, and it was not known at press time whether or not she had a lawyer. But you're 19 years. First of all, you're 19 years old and unmarried, and you're running around with a kid. There's already a problem probably there, my guess. Number two, you're driving around, but you can't afford your car seat. There are places they will give you a car seat.
Yeah.
If you
like
look
the
for
hospital you gave birth in.
They will.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, you can't leave without the car seat.
You can't leave without the car seat.
But the baby was 5, right? So the baby's not in a baby seat anymore. You said at the beginning he was 5. So he's out of all the 5-point harnesses.
No. 5 months.
5 months.
That's what this is a baby.
I knew this was No, they just literally took it in the hand like this and just put it in the back in the trunk like that. No, 5 months.
A 5-year-old might object.
Right.
Yeah.
How did
5-year-old would think it was fun.
In your hand.
Thank you.
Like that. Something like that.
That's a noise a baby makes when slipping into the trunk.
There's that. Kent Carlson.
True story.
Back to you.
Continuing in Florida.
We got a theme.
A birthday celebration turned sour for a North Lauderdale couple when both were accused of DUI following a road rage incident in Coral Springs.
Not in Coral Springs.
Records show it was the 4th DUI arrest for Michelle Ann Rivera, 49, and the first for Stancil Gannis Kinsley.
He needs to get with the fucking program.
I know. Jesus. Talk about a slow learner.
He's 20 years older and behind in DUIs. What is he doing wrong with his life?
They could fit another pack in this one, by the way.
The couple were returning home from Kinsley's birthday outing at 1:13 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, this is early on a Sunday.
Day drinking,
Yeah.
Sunday fun
That's
day.
day drinking and I'm thinking of you.
Another
Day drinking and I'm thinking of you.
Aretha, thank
Looking
you.
at the cop car. What the hell is going on?
Put the baby in the trunk.
Another motorist called 911 and told police Rivera was driving a 1999 silver Toyota 4Runner all over the southbound lanes in the 1200 block of North University Drive, according to the arrest report. The witness told police Rivera stopped in the middle of traffic, got out of the driver's seat, walked to the car behind her vehicle, yelled at the driver for following too closely, went back to her SUV but got in the passenger seat after Kinsley went around the vehicle and got into the driver's seat. When police arrived, they noticed both Rivera and Kinsley had strong odors of alcohol, watery, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. Officers also found an open bottle of Smirnoff vodka in Rivera's purse.
Atta girl.
Atta girl.
After repeated police requests, Rivera agreed to take a roadside sobriety test, but had trouble getting out of the SUV and walking around it.
You would think she would know her way around it, be able to get out of the car a little easier on her 5th DUI.
Yeah.
Right.
4th.
Well,
Fourth.
I'm expecting someone in the story that she got out of the car and did the Macarena.
Yeah.
No, wait, it's coming.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait for it.
She was unable to complete several sobriety exercises and kept asking if she was under arrest. When Rivera was put in the backseat of a patrol car, she noticed Kinsley was being arrested too, and Rivera spontaneously blurted out, "He wasn't driving, I was."
Nice.
That's how you get a 2-for-1
That's
on
how.
a DUI.
Oh, that's how.
No, they're both getting DUI.
I got something for both of you.
When they were taken to the police station, Rivera became loud and abusive. She lifted her skirt, flashed her bare ass at the officer, saying, "This is the best you'll ever have."
Well,
She sounds like good people.
yeah.
Well, she'd probably be fun at a party.
Should be a good time.
She'll be your entertainment at your birthday party.
She
Has she
refused the
announced-
breathalyzer, but when asked if she'd been drinking, she said, "Obviously."
Keep going.
Kinsley admitted to drinking since 10 a.m. at a restaurant. He failed several
At a
roadside
Denny's.
sobriety
I was
tests,
drinking at a Denny's.
and then said, "I'm done. Take me." His breath alcohol test was over the legal limits.
He just dropped the mic and said, "I'm over it."
Yeah,
Exactly.
fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm
I
drunk.
can't walk the straight line
What do you
anymore.
want
Just
from me?
arrest my ass.
Rivera is jailed on $66,000 bond,
Whoa.
and Kinsley was released on $500 bond. Court
That's
records
sexism.
showed no evidence of an attorney.
No evidence. Hey, Macarena. Oh,
I think we should get our listeners to create
Flash
a
their ass.
Well, that too. To create a GoFundMe account for these people.
no.
No, oh, my bad.
I was going to do a GoFundMe account, but I still haven't. I got to figure out how to edit the video together.
Okay, first off, we have to say something critical about that song and you have to pay for it. The Macarena fucking sucks. And what the hell is wrong with white people when they do it? There, then now we can play it because
Done.
it was a criticism.
Sure, I understand. You have to critique. Critiquing.
Hey, Macarena. Oh, and our final
And if that
story.
gets stuck in my head, my lawyer is
Too
going to
bad.
be in touch with your people.
Yeah. Well, in our final story, and God, I'm sure you've been happy. You're glad for us to get to that point in this show. The award for best principal ever just might go to Diane Wilkinson. If you remember last week, we talked about a Schenectady High School senior named Draven Rodriguez. He was the kid with the dream to take a yearbook photo with his cat, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh no.
Rodriguez was so passionate about his portrait, he even created a preemptive strike petition for the school board to allow his photo to be printed in the yearbook before they even issued a decision on what they were doing.
Oh, I was going to
So
look for it. Is that
that is what Kat is holding up is the first incarnation of the photo. Well,
it? Is that like the laser thing? Is
yeah.
that what's going? Oh no.
in a compromise, his cat photo was accepted for a different part of the yearbook, separate
Oh,
from the other
no.
student portraits. However, Principal Diane Wilkinson and her Chihuahua Vivian found a way to make Rodriguez's photo, the original photo, a laser-filled tribute to the bond between a boy and his cat, just became a portrait of pure awesomeness. Vivian and Mr. Bigglesworth are now both featured in the shot.
Okay, that's not a dog.
Is so amazing.
Vivian, they are both rescue animals, oddly, and the photo will appear in the yearbook to raise awareness for the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, also known as the ASPCA. In fact, I have a photo. Hang on here.
Is it you, Kat?
There
That's me and
is-
my cat, yeah.
There is the photo to all of our listeners viewing or out in the great beyond.
Well, I provided a link.
It says,
thank you.
I'm glad compromise was made, and it was fun to do, as well as the fact that it's all going for a good cause, said Rodriguez to Mashable, the online Mashable.com. Sometimes a principal is more than an educator. She's a hero and a whole lot better by joining in with her students. So isn't that just god-awful?
That's a fantastic follow-up.
Well, I guess you got to do something when you got an ugly dog. You might as well get your picture taken.
I hate those dogs. I mean, the cat could whip that dog's ass. I mean, there's no doubt in denying
I
that.
took the photo
You know
with
what?
the intent of recreating, and I just haven't had time to Photoshop it yet.
She's been busy.
It needs
Cat
a
has.
propeller.
The actual original photo is worse than the photo with the principal.
Oh, yeah.
Because what he's doing with the cat is different. And it's worse.
Yeah, full color. Black and white does not do that picture
No, but-
justice. It's like an ABBA album cover.
It
It's
really
so bad.
is. It really is.
You just can never describe something that horrible. I just love saying that's just fucking yourself with your own rapier. I just love that we've come to
I'll drink to that.
I know. We've made it to a literary place where we're able to paraphrase Shakespeare.
I'm going to have to go make Pop-Tarts and make a new drink for myself.
Is that code for going potty?
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
Mom, I have to make Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
That's later.
All right.
What are you
It
going to
is
do?
now.
I gotta go get a Band-Aid because I'm bleeding like a stuck.
What'd you do?
Oh,
Oh, it's a stupid.
Did I cut you with my rapier wit?
Go to my go on the other end of the house, Al.
Speaking of, while we're here, by the way,
We're going to be here for a while.
yeah, I know I've told you this before, Clayton, but do you know that you can check into Clayton's house and it's called Maggie's and Marty's?
Maggie and
I
Marty's?
did. I did.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
so you know
fact,
that.
I've known where Clayton lives for a long time because of Facebook.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Well, I never knew that that's what that was.
Thank you.
And I would notice that Clayton would check into it around 2 o'clock in the morning or
Oh, this is
whatever.
a funny
Right?
story. This is good.
And very often I get home around the same time and I'm always hungry and everything's closed. So I actually drunkenly one night got on my bicycle and went looking for Maggie's and Marty's because I thought it was like an all-night restaurant in this neighborhood. And it's not.
And I think
No.
he even a comment. He's like, "Where are you? Where are you
I
eating?
can't find it.
I can't find it."
I've seen the fridge. There's actually not a lot of food there
no,
anyway.
no, there's not that either. But
Which would surprise you for
really,
with a house with so many people living in
There's
it.
only two of us at this
That's
point.
two grown adults.
Yeah, and one's getting ready to leave, and then it's just me and Maggie and Marty.
Yes.
and they don't cook.
No,
They're
no
very
cooking
needy.
going
They're very
on.
needy. Very needy. Oh, well, that was funny though. When
I'm going
Richard
to give
was like,
Maggie and Marty a bad Yelp.
well, they'll just throw up on something.
Half star on Yelp.
Half star. Oh, half
Like
star.
oh,
I'm gonna eat.
Oh, and that's
stuff.
another thing, by the way, if I may.
What?
I decided, because I was doing a promo for my show, and I said, you know what? Why don't I include a Yelp review about
Well,
my
yeah.
show?
Sure.
Well, I
Are
Yelped,
there any of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I have like 10 really good, like incredible Yelps. People who are like, oh, I had a great time,
you've had a show for how many years? You
Yeah.
only got 10 good Yelps.
Yeah.
All right.
But
One
there,
for each
there,
year.
there was one really bad one. And
Oh.
so I refused to link to my Yelp because I didn't want anybody to see it.
What did it say?
It said something about the hostess, who's obviously been doing this for a while, seems to sort of phone it in.
Were you phoning it in?
No, I never do that.
We all have off nights. We all do.
I've been phoning it in. For
Ours
a
is
year,
every
look.
Tuesday.
I'm telling myself that maybe they were there on a week that someone hosted for me, like Celia was there or TC.
Throw them under the bus. That's good.
That's how I'm sleeping at night. It's that rape your wit and cheap wine.
3 pairs, pearls, pears, whatever the hell it is. Where'd you get
Pears.
that?
I got it at AJ's.
Really? Yo, because you got your muffins there too. I'm sorry. I'm eating with a mouthful of nuts.
That's
Sorry. I'm talking with a mouthful. What have you done?
No,
Lately.
I always used to piss and moan at work when people would like open a bottle of wine but not take all the foil
Yeah.
off, and I just did it because the other opener has a weird.
Does that happen a
circular
lot at
thing.
your job?
Well, 10 years in a bar, it happened a lot where you'd get people that wouldn't take all the foil off. So
Okay.
when you go to pull the cork off,
Yeah.
the foil slices your finger open. And I just did it because the knife out there is a circular knife, and I didn't make the full motion, so I left like a little piece of foil on the last part of the circle.
It's a lovely story.
So when I went
Let's
to
do a telethon to raise
I
awareness.
know, fuck it, I know. It's a
Al,
long story.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah,
Let's do this. Al Perkins.
It's all TV and entertainment. The new season has started, and I have some notes and reminders to help you watch stuff. And all of a sudden, then my computer's so tired, it won't open up. All kinds of shows. SNL turns 40. They've changed their format. There's a couple of movies to be seen. I get to this really late. Da 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 da. All right, there was no headlines in that. Sorry.
Yep.
So the big news was SNL turned 40. Their debut was this week with
The debut.
with Chris Pratt.
Oh, God, he's hot.
Yeah, he really is a cutie patootie. He's that doughy white. He's the quintessential doughy white boy now that Corey
Made
Monteith
good.
is dead. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Corey used to be the quintessential white doughy. Well, Michael Bublé is another one of that doughy white boy that I enjoy. But Chris Pratt, he goes up and down about 45, 50 pounds depending on the movie or the role he's playing.
All right.
And the funny thing was he got in shape for Zero Dark 40, but he always plays the schlubby guy on Parks and Rec. And he was in such good shape that they had to keep hiding him like he was pregnant because he was no longer schlubby. He was clearly in shape from playing a SEAL 6 team, or what are they called?
No.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he
SEAL
was
Team 6.
Yeah, SEAL
That's
Team
what-
6. So he was in such good shape for that movie and shirt off that they really couldn't do anything about him being like a fat slob. So they kept putting him in like giant clothes and hiding him behind stuff for like 4 or 5 episodes. And then they just told he just went back to eating, and then he got like part after part that he's like, okay, we got to decide on a weight what I need to weigh. Like I get work at this weight and I get work at this weight. So
What a
somebody's got to
problem to
decide.
have.
No, but it's not healthy to go
I
up
have that same problem.
as much as he goes up and down. But so the funny thing that they're doing, because they're not making a big deal about the 40th anniversary yet. They probably will at some point this season. But they've been doing the hour before the real live show every week has been a repeat from the week before. They'll give you the highlight show of the week before.
And they're doing that all the time now?
Yeah, they've been doing it for a couple years, where the hour before has been last week's show, kind of highlights of missing a couple skits that didn't quite fly. Well, what they're doing this year in honor of is they're doing a best of for the whole season. So they're doing something from all the different eras and all the different genres, and they're kind of making a big play up of if you want to see the bulk of the SNL from a certain night. Some nights they won't include the musical act, or if they go back far enough, there wasn't always a musical act. Depending on how far back they go. So this week they did the Richard Pryor's. They were thinking about doing the debut episode, but then they went with the Richard Pryor, which is famous for his opening monologue, which was fucking hysterical to see Richard Pryor have to be clean and actually pull it off do a PG rated comedy act because he works so blue. But then he does the job interview where he and Chevy Chase do the word association for the job, and a thing that you would never get. No one would ever say the N word on TV, and this was played, like when they get to that about it's played for humor, and it's that biting first season where they were just doing anything they wanted to because no one knew what the fuck they were.
Well, I remember that.
So that was on this last week, and so every week it's going to be something new. So definitely tape that hour before to see classic episodes, and they're going to pick and choose from 40 seasons, and they have about 40 weeks. So it might prove to be one per season, or they might miss some lame years, but they're going to try and get you something special every week.
There were a lot of lame years too.
Was there? No, you're right. There were, and that's
The one that I always remember is that the first year that the original cast was gone, like 81. But that's the one that then. But then if you watch it, it's the year that who comes on that year? There's somebody really famous from that year that did good stuff. But I say it's the same conversation like Christmas comes too early or the Halloween.
Saturday Night Live Dead. It happens every year.
Every year I hear the same conversation. I've been taping it for as long as I've been alive. I've watched.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just been one of my favorites. And there are some, but there's always something in there that you always fast forward because something goes on too long or something's not working. But then something just comes up, and you're just like, please God, let someone else have seen this week. Which is why when they got to the Chronicles of Narnia, the Sunday, whatever it's called Sunday something, where the first time they did the rap with Adam Sandberg, where he wanted to do the rap song, and it's the Chronicles of Narnia, and they're like talking about going for the muffins. I mean, it's
the
really,
digital shorts, I think.
Yeah, the digital shorts, and they've been doing them for years, but it's called Lazy Sunday, and it was the first one to be nominated for an Emmy, and it was when SNL finally said we're not going to block our skits anymore because this is what's going to get people to tune in next week, was because everyone was talking about Lazy Sunday, and then Dick in a Box, and they just had so much stuff to throw out there. So keeping with SNL, oh my God, my spelling on this is atrocious, but Skeleton Twins, which we talked about from the Toronto Film Festival. It's Kristen Wiig and oh my God, I didn't write it down because I thought I'd never forget it.
I'll look it up.
The guy that played Stefan.
Oh yeah. Oh
Bill
God.
Hader.
Oh God.
Is the brother and sister duo. It was so good.
Oh really?
So nicely done, and it's a semi-serious. Like you get some laughs out of it. It's a serious movie about two fucked up adults that were brother and sister that come back together. She's really good in it. I was to my end of my rope with her on SNL. It was like time to retire her because bitch needs to sit down. Yeah. Like she was doing every single skit and it just got annoying. Yeah. But Bill Hader in this movie is so amazing.
Really?
Amazing. An amazing
He's one of those people I
performance.
don't like, but I'll take your word for it.
It was just a really nice performance, and in a movie that every time it would start
He's in drag in the movie too. He does drag. There's a drag scene.
He goes to Halloween. They go to Halloween and they recreate something they did as kids.
Gotcha.
So it's not drag. It's kind of like a funny, and it really is a funny Halloween costume that they put together. But every time the movie starts to get way down in the maudlin part of like their childhood and what's wrong, how fucked up the two of them are, there's just a really light moment where the two of them just have such great chemistry together, and you believe that they've known each other. Like you just believe what they're doing together. It's a really nice.
So they're
movie.
both fucked up.
Oh yeah, completely fucked up.
See, the impression I got from the trailer was that the gay one was the only one that was fucked up, and I thought I don't want to see this again.
No.
Oh, okay.
And they really are, and it's kind of a movie about the damage that fucked up people pretending to not be fucked up cause. Like if you would just go get help for your problem, you would do a lot better. But the damage you inflict on everyone around you by pretending you're not fucked up.
Gotcha.
And it's a really nice movie. And then the other one from this weekend that made a butt ton of money and like one of the highest grossing R-rated films of the last few years, and I think it's the highest grossing R-rated movie in September ever, was The Equalizer with Denzel Washington proving he can still push a movie.
Hey, I just saw it and it was terrible.
Was it?
It was really bad.
It's on my list because I like the girl. I like Chloe.
Yeah, she has a tiny part, and it's just a bad movie. I know it's number one. I know it's Denzel.
And that doesn't mean anything because Mariah Carey is very popular, so I don't take the number one as anything.
I was really disappointed in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say enough bad things.
I said that about all the movies this summer. There's only been a few movies this entire last 4 months that I've actually enjoyed, and Skeleton Twins was on that short list of movies that I actually was like, That was.
Did you
that
see
was good.
This Is Where I Leave You? Have you seen that yet?
I have not. I want to see that one this week
I think
too.
I'm going to go see that tomorrow.
And that's another one that's gotten really terrible reviews. So, and then on SNL, this Sunday night, his name is Mulaney. He's the guy that wrote the Stefan character on SNL, which everyone knows I absolutely loved. That was my favorite when everything he said about midgets. So he's on there. He gets his own show, and it's where Pedram
Hassan, or
yeah,
her.
We're making all the right noises.
Pedrad.
Yeah, that's all those noises make her name. But that's what she left for, and
She's
everyone knew she
hysterical.
was leaving to go on this show, and it's
Nassim, Pedrad Nassim.
yeah. And what's Martin Short? Like it's just a dream cast that he assembled for this show. It's on Sunday night, so Fox is doing cartoon, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, cartoon, Mulaney,
Interesting.
and yeah, just because they know that they have that fan base built up for the Simpsons, and is it the Cleveland show? No,
Yeah.
Family Guy.
Family Guy, they're all on the
Right, so
Cleveland
they're-
show.
But
Bob's Burgers.
but now everything's gone except for Simpsons and Family Guy, and then the two live action in between.
All right.
And they've just said that it's a really strong night of comedy. Like if you like your stoner, if you're stoned at the beginning for the cartoons, you're going to enjoy yourself for the whole ride because you get Adam Sandberg. And the debut of Brooklyn Nine-Nine last Sunday was a fucking riot. Like that show has not. They went back and just got funnier, just right on point. Speaking of Sunday, Homeland debuts with 2 new episodes this Sunday, so white people are very happy because now it's an SNL joke.
And pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice at home.
Everywhere.
Don't say it 3 times fast, or a white woman in yoga pants is going to show up and tell you all their favorite things about fall. So then all the new shows that I've been trying to screen them all and tell you what to watch and don't watch. Red Band Society, I kind of enjoyed it. It's stupid. It's just as nonsensical as Grey's Anatomy with a little bit more appealing cast, but it's gotten shitty ratings, so it's probably going to go. So if you didn't catch it, don't catch up now because it's probably going to get canceled, so don't get attached.
Deal.
The Mysteries of Laura's got really good ratings. It's written for the mouth breathers in the world.
Oh, man.
But I was drawn in because she's just so fucking likable. Like, Deborah Messing is just likable.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen one episode of Murder, She Wrote. I've been making fun of that show for the last 20 years, without ever watching one episode. I refer to it all the time. But I'm assuming this is what Murder, She Wrote was like. It's just a corny mystery with an easy solve, while Deborah Messing just has a disaster of a life with 2 rotten kids and an ex-husband. So
Fair
it's
enough.
just, but I was actually amused by the whole fucking hour. Like, I ate my popcorn. I liked my life. Madam Secretary with Tia Leone is very good, but if you go on the fanboy pages and you read the comments, they just crucify the show as being like some Democratic blue state push for Hillary, and this is just NBC or Fox or whatever network plays it. They're just trying to get Hillary into office. So the hateful comments about the show make it worth everything. So watch an episode of Madam Secretary, which really doesn't pretend to be about either party and has no real political aspirations.
I want to see. I read good reviews about it.
No, the show is excellent, but if you go on the fanboy pages and you read what the people are rating, because usually it's like the second comment in any thread is Obama's a communist and, black people are evil. This one doesn't even wait. That the very first comment was, why the fuck is this on the air? Isn't it bad enough that Hillary's going to be president and I've got to watch some fucking show that's trying to elect her? And it's like,
oh my God.
There was nothing in the show to make you believe this. And then the fanboy page for the Mysteries of Laura was all about the fact that she shoots a white criminal holding a black guy hostage. And the fan page was all about how many black criminals there are in the world. And I just went down, I just read it. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, just watch the fucking show. It was stupid.
Right.
The Mysteries of Laura was seriously written at like a 3rd grade level. And I was amused and delighted by the entire thing. Because again, but Madam Secretary was kind of smart. It had something to say about like Middle East and negotiations and tough choices. It was an interesting show, and I'm like, wow, you all were watching a different
really
program.
just reaching for that. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't take much.
Scorpio got the big premiere spot. It's after The Big Bang Theory. It's the show about the geniuses. It's got Catherine McPhee, who I'll seriously watch her read a box of cereal. I don't give a
Nothing
shit.
has
I
worked
enjoy
out for her, though.
This one's going to, because the ratings were absolutely ridiculously high because they're following that. And it was one of those ones It was one of those shows where they spent all the money on the pilot, like the stunts, the cinematography. It was feature film quality television, and they blew like $6 million of their $6.1 million budget for the entire year. The rest of the things all going to be like green screened and taking place in a cafeteria because they don't have a penny left. But it was
a murder that takes place in a basement.
Exactly, and no one leaves. But it was really, and they're all endearing, and it was the perfect like nerd show to follow Big Bang Theory. So I enjoyed that. I haven't watched last night's yet, but it was a good premiere, and I'm like, well, that's all the money you got left.
How much TV do you watch?
Well, I don't watch that. I do watch a lot, but this week I'm trying to watch like all the new shows to see
seriously, I'm not judging. I'm asking, how much TV do you think you watch?
Probably about 5 hours a week, I would say.
Oh, that's not a lot.
No, I get down really quick, and because there's just stuff that I'm like, no, they lose me by episode 2 of most shows, or I'm like, I've lost all interest in this. But I do the binge thing like you do with Breaking Bad. Like all of a sudden I'll find a show and I'm like, I just binge it to the end, and that's what I just did with Big. Yeah,
that's my new favorite way to do television. Like I don't even have the patience to wait for it to happen anymore.
Don't you feel bad for fucking up all the way through, like someone's 6 years of work in the course of a week? Like this is their life, and you just burnt through it in a week.
But Netflix is now banking on that. So like, there's people actually.
I think that's the new model. I think binge TV is the new way to go. I think.
And I like the 13-episode season. I like keep it short, keep the quality there. Like, allegedly, The Good Wife can keep it up for 22 weeks, but I don't watch that show.
Give it to me all at once. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what she said.
Literally.
Again and again.
That rapier wet.
Rip rapier. It felt rapier.
It's feeling rapier and rapier all the time. Let me tell you.
I watch more than 5 hours, but I'm embarrassed to say this. Well, I'll tell you guys because I think you guys are all my age. But the only thing I ever want to watch is MeTV or Antenna TV.
Oh, I love MeTV.
That's all I watch.
They have that at the hospital, and if somebody's in a coma, you wanted to watch MeTV? Of course you did. Let's watch that for 12 hours. Look, it's the Newhart show.
When I saw that Ropers, I was so happy.
I know the Ropers are on there.
I was ecstatic.
I watched the Ropers. If it wasn't 2 nights before you, it was the actual, like, I was up overnight, and I saw the Ropers the same night you did.
I almost thought I was dreaming when it came on because the theme music is so strange.
And Jeffrey Tambor.
And I was like, what? And how does he look exactly the same age? He was an old man 40 years ago. And that's literally has to be 30 years.
Well, it's like Elaine Stritch. She played 80 from the time she was 30 till she died. Like, she played the exact same age her entire career. But I have to say, now that the View is good again,
good.
I'm up higher, and I cannot stop rooting for Nicole Wallace.
I love her.
I enjoy her immensely.
I like the way she dresses too. I think she's sexy.
I'm hoping Rosie Perez goes on vacation sometime soon, though, because there's just something about her that I'm like,
she's
away.
so Rosie Perez.
Go away.
Like, to me, she's just busy being Rosie.
She's actually really well informed, really
absolutely.
well spoken. She just doesn't believe in herself. She doesn't jump in. She always kind of just jumps in.
She apologizes
and talks this way and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry for interrupt." Like. And she should really have a bigger voice because she is well informed.
When
and she knows what she's talking about.
I happened to catch some of it the other day, and I can't watch it and see Rosie Perez and not think of you because
I'm sick of her
knowing
already.
how much you don't care for. Yeah, that's exactly where I am.
And there's
with
a big fight last week between Rosie and Whoopi about cutting Rosie off, and I guess Rosie took her rent because Rosie still suffers from mental illness. There's no getting around it. Like we got a little taste of it earlier in the decade, but now it's like. So when Whoopi had to say, like, we have to go to commercial, or we're going to talk about this more through the year, this is obviously a story that's not, and they say that a lot, this is not a story that's going away, we're going to come back to it, so we're going to cut away here. And I guess Rosie just, like, picked up the microphone and talked to the audience, and unfortunately, those little audience things with everybody having phones and everyone recording.
It's all recorded.
They're all recorded, and it got a lot of press, all the shit that went down with Whoopi saying, like, this is not the time, like, don't do this in public.
Like, simmer down,
don't
right.
start a feud. We don't need the ratings. The ratings are good. We don't need to build up some drama.
Right.
So it was very, very strange.
Is she the right
strange.
person for that show? Because I'll be honest, I was rooting for her because I like her.
Which one?
Rosie O'Donnell. I like her. I think I like her point of view most of the time, but I have to say that she is the short link on that show right now.
Agree. Right now, she's my least favorite person
the weak
because I feel like she just keeps trying to like make it the Rosie show.
Sure.
When there's there's an intelligent discussion from all of them, and when they have a smart story, I like that they all not a smart story, but they have something political. They go to the person with the political background,
the politics, right.
and they go to Nicole Wallace, and she's got always something intelligent to say. She's never just spouting the Fox News line. And now, like, the more she's on, the more I hate Elizabeth Hasselbeck, which I never did before, because I always appreciated her. But now I'm like, you were just vomiting up what Fox News said.
And
Reading the script, sure.
I never believed Elizabeth believed all that stuff.
Oh, but now she's
personally.
on Fox News. Like,
I think
drinking
that's
the
how she
Kool-Aid
kept
kind
her
of-
job, because she discovered some of her conservative opinions garnered her some fan base.
No, but Bill Getty, the producer, was
He's also conservative.
very conservative. So I guess from what they've spilled, they would get together and like give her the lines that she would have to
go
not
with,
that she didn't
yeah.
agree with them, but that you're gonna
make good TV.
Yeah, but you're gonna do the talking point with like that echo chamber of like. So it's nice to hear Nicole Wallace actually say like, and she'll have a point of view like, I don't agree with this, but I like this.
I love that she can actually say things like, "This is how this works."
Yeah.
Or, I've actually been in that room.
Yeah.
I loved when she talked about Dick Cheney shooting someone in the face.
Yeah. I had to come back to
haven't
work
caught
to
up to
find
that yet.
out that Dick Cheney got shot somebody in the face.
And whoever told her that threw it in. Really, nothing else this weekend? Nothing? No, everything's cool. Well, Dick Cheney shot someone. Like that's how. That's
And then
how-
and his thing was, how are we? The person that told her was like, how are we going to cover this? And her
Oh,
thing was
we
like,
weren't gonna
is he
say anything.
alive?
First of all, how's the other guy doing?
Right? And she
Before
was
we
like,
worry about covering this,
right? That was no, but like they were all like looking at each other, like, what's the best angle to hit this from? And she's like, is he alive? Like, tell me the rest of the story, because people that get shot in the face, not so.
not
much.
always live.
Okay, so so I'll go with the three highlights I think of the new season. Comedy wise, and there's a lot of stuff debuting. I'm taping some other stuff, but I thought Blackish was point on funny. Like I got
I'm
what they
happy
were
to hear
going
that.
for. They're so fucking likable. Diana Ross's daughter, amazeballs,
Yeah.
in a really in a role that obviously, I mean, it's one episode. She obviously has a lot of different things to do with this, but they were, I mean, just straight down the line funny. From the black kid at the rich white kid school wanting to be bar mitzvahed because it sounded like more fun, to the father being upset that he didn't want to play basketball, he wanted to play field hockey, and his whole disgust with like field hockey's a stupid sport, and the kid finally saying, I know, but I suck at basketball.
Yeah.
It was very rapier. I needed a drink. Okay, so, and as far as like hour-long scripted shows, the best of the bunch, and I know I'm biased because they're three of my favorite movies of the last 10 years, but that fucking Gotham was out of the park. That was amazeballs. I cannot express to you. I mean, they set up 5 villains.
Mm-hmm.
They got you Catwoman, the Penguin. They got you the Joker, the Riddler.
Fish
they got
Mooney.
you, right. Exactly. And brilliant, like just across the board. And another one, they spent every dollar on this pilot, which I don't think they had to do a pilot. This is one of those shows that I think got green lighted just on the concept, and they were like, just shoot whatever you want to, spend as much money. If they don't watch
Has
it
one
when it's
episode
on.
been on or 2?
2. The second one was yesterday.
Okay, because yesterday I went to go pick up my dry cleaning. I was riding my bicycle home from Fry's, and my dry cleaner is right there between there and home. And I saw that they were still open, and I thought, why are they open? And so I poked my head in, and I said, are you guys open? And they go, well, no, we're closed, but are you picking up your clothes? You can pick it up right now. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll pick up my clothes. And I said, what are you guys still doing here? And she goes, well, I don't want to miss the rest of Gotham. So she was literally staying at work.
It was
she
literally,
didn't want to miss the rest of
That premiere
Gotham.
was appointment TV. Like that
I
was
can't wait to see that.
so well done and beautifully filmed. I mean, just and
I was worried. I'm not going to lie.
I was too. And God, did they pull that off? And the Penguin was just so good, and Catwoman was introduced in such a fun way. The Riddler would like everyone was introduced in such a nice like they didn't beat you over the head. It wasn't Spielberg at all. Like I wasn't beat over the head with it. Like you had to think it through. Like, oh, okay, and then they'll like hit you a little bit just in case you're a mouth breather. But it was
Like if you don't know the canon.
Yeah, if you didn't get the whole thing at first, but beautifully done and just a great story and a great cover up and a great police drama because they really had to solve a crime and set the season up for finding the killer of
Is it too modern and dark? Because that's the way everything has to be now.
No, I didn't think so at all. I thought it really followed nicely with The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises.
I'll watch it on
without
there.
being too Dark Knight third act.
Derivative, yeah.
Rapier.
Without being rapier. A little less rapier. But Jada Pinkett Smith, honest to God, I have never enjoyed her. This was the first time I've ever thought this is the part she was meant to play. Like, so well done. Just
I've always gotten a kick out of her.
she's always in a shitty role. Like, I think she's a beautiful woman with bad parenting. Really, really, really write her down too, because I think she's a shitty ass
Now
parent.
we've
Because she
lost
stopped
her.
listening.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I giveth with one hand, I slap
she in
with
the
the
chat
other.
room?
Yeah, she's got to stop now. But the
Bye,
one,
Jada. Call me.
the one that wins every category as far as like critical acclaim and audience, like for like huge numbers, is How to Get Away with Murder with Viola Davis.
Oh yeah, it set records.
They're hyping the shit out of that.
Delivered on all levels.
Did it.
Critically acclaimed, really fun to watch, a fantastic cast, and then the numbers were astronomical. Like
Yeah.
ABC is seriously jacking off in a corner. Like,
Seriously.
get this bitch another TV show. Put her on 2 shows.
Because if you watch your television through like ABC On Demand or Hulu, that's all you see. Like
Oh,
for
yeah.
the last 2 weeks is How to Get Away with Murder. Like that's the only
Because they
fucking
know
commercial that they have.
know what they know what
Is
they
it that
have.
good?
It is that
I
good.
worry
Even
about
on-
stuff like that.
Even on Antenna TV,
Yeah.
they're running commercials for that.
Are they?
And they got it. They hit it out of the park. That's another one. And they hit every level. Like, it's a fun show. It's a great cast. They're kind of
is that-
sexy.
so there's like a mystery that will be developed through the series.
Yeah.
So it's not just because when I had first read the show, I'd read about it about 6 or 9 months ago. They said that they were rebooting Murder, She Wrote with Viola Davis. Mm-hmm. And I thought,
no, with Octavia Spencer.
oh,
Yes, different black
okay,
woman.
that's right.
Write
from
down
The
black
Help.
people.
They're already.
So did
They're
they-
already there.
So
I'm
did
pretty
they
sure
do-
they're there.
Did they do that?
No, because they decided against it. And I think, honestly,
So maybe
Wisely,
that's why
wisely.
I thought when
honest
this
to
came up.
God, I think they developed a project with Octavia Spencer in mind. They gave her the Red Band Society, which is... It was not a bad show, just no one's watching it because it's sick kids with cancer, so it's a bit maudlin.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's a bit maudlin. And then they had
Coming
this-
up next, puppies being kicked.
Yeah. But it really wasn't. It was a lightly charming show, but they really did go the Grey's Anatomy, like just stupid, bad medicine. No one lives in a
With Red
like,
Band Society?
Yeah, it just went.
I love Grey's Anatomy. You can't tell me not to. You can't tell me not to.
There's so many. I mean,
I know it's not medicine.
No,
That's not why I
it's
watch
no,
it.
but it's not that it's not medicine. It's just it's not even like it doesn't even pass like 4th grade science tests.
I'm vested now.
I
Like
know.
I've been there for 8 years. I'm vested.
I did 4 solid years with those people. So I just got to tell you, How to Get Away with Murder. It's on again tomorrow night. Catch up with it. It really was the whole package. When I read I kept Googling to find out how the ratings were. Really did well. And then your new on Netflix for October. Not a lot of shit that I would watch came up this month, and I like that Netflix is announcing what they're putting on new on your. For those of you that don't spend the money to get the DVDs, and the streaming sucks, so you're paying for a
Is it
shitty product.
glitchy?
No, it's just that they don't have a lot. Like, when
Oh,
you
okay.
want to watch it, like, I want to watch any movie I want to. I don't want you to tell me what my limits are. Like, I can't stand it when I'm like, oh, I like this movie, I'd like to see this one, and then you're like, no, it's not available on streaming, you got to buy the better package.
No.
I have a job. I'm just going to buy the better fucking package. Like, leave me alone.
I'll watch it now.
Right. I have no desire for limits. Like, I have a job. The reason I got a job was to pay for shit so that you don't have to tell me what I can't watch. So I think streaming Netflix,
think
write them
that's
down
how
too,
it
because that is the cuntiest thing in the world. That
Damn
there's
it.
not shit that I want. Like, if I want to watch something, I want to watch it right now, and I'm paying you money. Give it to me. Shut the fuck up, or tell me what I got to pay to get what I want.
That sounds like you with like a hooker.
That's me with the lawn human. That's me with the pool guy. That's
Right.
me with the cable company.
If
If
I
I
didn't-
pay money for it, I want it, and I want all of it, and whatever I need to pay to get the rest of it, fucking pay it.
If I didn't know better, I would have you pegged as an only child.
No.
I know.
It's very.
I know.
Oh, but
I would-
only
I would-
only boy.
But I have precious.
true.
I do have precious child
only
syndrome.
and much youngest boy.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
only boy, much youngest and
What's the
adopted.
age span between
That's
your
true.
youngest sister and you?
6.
Oh,
No.
see, it's pretty close.
Close.
But the other thing is, my whole family's like this. Like, I'm not like it's not me that's like it.
So you're a family of only children.
Yeah.
Was Ruthie
No,
like
fine
this?
people.
No, but we're a family of people that work.
No, was Ruthie like that? Like, was Ruthie like, if she want, I just want it now. Just give it to me now. Can I pay for it? Can I get?
Have you ever heard the air conditioning story with my mother?
No.
That like a car without air conditioning wasn't even a car. Like,
Well-
it didn't matter if we had to like what we had to eat. Like, there was no option of being in a car without an air conditioner. It just was not possible.
Okay.
And my mother would invent allergies for my sister to get the house more air conditioned. Like, we had central air in 1979. We had HBO in 1973. We were like the first 3 people in America to have HBO. If there was
Okay.
something out there that you were supposed to have, you just got it. Like,
Okay.
You get it. You find out what it is. And if you don't like it, you turn it off. But if it's HBO, you keep it 40 years.
You know, I don't have cable, but every now and then I'm at someone's house that has cable, or I'm in a hotel room. And you know what makes me happy?
Is there a story there?
Yeah.
There is, but not for this show.
Okay. Next week.
It's too rapier even for this show.
Oh.
But you know what makes me happy is that even in all of its incarnations of HBO, it still has like that tiny bit of like whenever a new movie comes on, it has just like 3 or 4 notes of the original HBO theme.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
It has this little bum 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 bum. And I remember it used to have this huge theme that they would play before every movie, and then it got faded out and distorted, and now it's so short.
You get
but
like
you
2
still
bars.
hear it.
Yeah,
and
you
it
still
makes
hear
me
it.
happy. It reminds me of living in Houston, Texas.
And I still get
in
hard nipples
1981.
at shh, an
Love
HBO
it.
original series.
Uh-huh.
Or HBO documentary. I watched it in the hotel room because I check 2 things: air conditioning in the hotel room.
There it is.
But do the da na 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 na.
Well, hey, it's got to get there.
Oh,
It goes to this whole bullshit thing, and I haven't seen it. This is their opening from '83.
While you're queuing, I just want to say something. I on Facebook just said, "Hey, we're just $6 away from hitting the $9,000 mark on our team," and in just 5 minutes, we raised
Almost
$283.
beautifully realized. Well played.
Small goals.
And I was
Small
hurrying
goals.
because I
You
hadn't.
were part of it.
I hadn't
You know what
signed
it
my
is?
mom.
It's because of the show.
It's that goddamn show.
And I put the link to my page while we were on here too. No, I don't think anybody.
I
hit
put
it,
my
but-
mom's up there.
Yep.
I chipped in $6.
Yep.
Not gonna lie.
You're my profile pic.
I saw. Thank you.
Oh, is that how you got your fucking picture on there?
Fuck yeah.
I wondered how you did that. I was like, how the fuck did she do it? I don't know how she did it, but she
So
did.
that's a little
I
part
was-
that they only pay a part of now.
I was sitting
Oh,
here
they
not
don't-
listening, entering my credit card.
But then
you
they-
don't get any of this.
Oh, you
anymore.
don't, because this is, and then they cover this hill, and then it comes up and it flies in.
Yeah, because like, what you get now is you get this. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
That's the HBO theme song
And
tonight on
you get
HBO.
this.
And it- yes.
A deserted island and a 16-year-old boy.
Tonight on Barbara Seville.
What's funny to me
Rapier.
is watching this on YouTube right now, watching the HBO logo fly in.
Uh-huh.
The graphics were so god awful in '83 that it moves like this.
Because there was a
skips.
guy running through a
Yeah.
stage.
He was dressed all in green, so he couldn't be seen. All right, so I have, I think I just have 2 little things to say when we come back from the break, and we're good.
Okay, it is the end of hour 2.
3.
No, the end of hour 2. We're going into hour 3.
Oh, no, I have 3 things to say.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm eating a Pop-Tart, by the way. The toaster is ready. Go make yourself a Pop-Tart. They're great.
I can't decide between, like, doing it camping style or doing it like I live in a home style. I'm torn.
I don't know what the difference is, but you can
One is
explain
it's
it.
cold and one is it's hot.
Oh.
One is it's you're super stoned, you need the Pop-Tart now, and one is you have the time.
Make them. You got time. Go do it.
I know.
Toaster's ready. It's the show, Q Talk America. I'm here with Kat Carlson,
If you're
Al
going to go make
Perkins,
Pop-Tarts, wash your hands.
and then also Barbara Seville is with us right here in Q Talk. Studio C, we got coming back with more from Al. Also, Kat's going to talk at some point. It'll be exciting. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
That's you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is hour 3. It's Q Talk America. You'll excuse me. I have a mouthful of freshly toasted Pop-Tart.
Is that what we're calling
Yeah.
it?
Well, it is. It's what it is. I'm sitting here alongside Kat Carlson, Barbara Seville, and Al Perkins is with us. By the
What
way,
is this?
For nuts, if you want some nuts.
it's like some nuts in your bowl.
I like them on my chin. What?
Oh!
I like
I
them on
don't
my
know.
chin.
Of course you do.
Problems lesbians don't have.
Oh! Could if you wanted. Anywho, we are here in Studio C in the middle of our entertainment section. Barbara Seville just did a reach out on Facebook. By the way, we are Barbara Seville is the matriarch, if you will, of the Barbara Seville's Wonderful 100 AIDS Walk team. We are walking with again this year, but we will not discount on our own little Q Talk team here. We have Kat Carlson, and she has her, say the name of it,
Piddly little team. Hashtag at the cash.
Hashtag at the cash.
At the Cash. So you can sign up with Kat Carlson if you'd like to walk with her, if you're a local person listening to the show, or Barbara Seville's team, whichever way. Any team, honestly, God, you want to join it. The money all
Join
goes.
one of those two.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying.
Clearly,
Don't go out of your way.
we're the first two on the drop-down list.
Yeah, hashtag.
Intentionally.
Yeah, I copied that
I
from
saw.
you.
One's on the
I saw
top.
when I registered my team, I was like, that bitch.
But I figured you
copied my
wouldn't.
trick.
But are you before me
I am,
because of the at
A
symbol?
is
That
still-
actually sounds
no,
like
A is
an-
still before B.
That still sounds like an Aaron Lopez thing because he did that on Facebook where he was AA, or somehow he was always at the top of every fucking list.
Oh, we get to the part where other people talk? We have a question about that.
Drives me fucking crazy. Anyway, we are in the middle of our entertainment section. The drinking word is rapier. I'll show you how that looks on the screen right there. Rapier.
I'll show you what rapier looks like, ma'am.
Touch the doll. Make it count.
I need to go home and take a shower.
We'll turn everything over to Al Perkins again as he runs down the last 3 things that he's got in the entertainment section.
Okay, so the point of the last story about bitching about Netflix and the streaming section was that the movie that they've released again on streaming, if for some reason your life is that sad that you haven't seen Galaxy Quest, pull up a bottle of wine, a joint, whatever
Is that
you
the
need
Star
to.
Trek movie?
The Star Trek parody where they play
Sigourney Weaver?
Yes, Sigourney Weaver. And laugh out loud funny for, I'm going to say like 102 minutes. It is one of my favorite movies, and I think it starts October 1st on Netflix. Anytime this movie's on, I just plant my ass in front of it. It's like dodgeball. I'm just in for a giggle, and I can't get out of it.
It's been on Amazon Prime. It must be making the rounds because it made the top 3 list when we were picking movies with the kids the other night. So.
And did you love it?
We didn't watch that one. We
Okay.
watched something else, but I've seen it. I love it.
So that's the whole point. They didn't have a lot of really stellar. They had like Kramer versus Kramer and.
It did not appeal to the 9-year-old, so I mean, it may not translate.
But put
to
it
the
on.
next
Have they
generation.
ever watched a Star Trek or a?
Probably not.
Okay. If anybody who's
It may
ever
not
seen a
translate,
Star
yeah.
Trek, everything about that movie, just Tim Allen is hysterical. Alan,
Who's the older
Alan-
guy? Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, just out of this world funny.
Do you
And
wanna
then two of the people were on the Mysteries of the opening episode of the Mysteries of Laura was half the cast of Galaxy Quest, and I'm like, all these people are in Galaxy
Like,
Quest
wait a
together.
minute.
Go ahead.
A fun fact about me: I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
Oh, I didn't do it till the
That's a
90s,
fun
but I
fact.
finally did it.
Well, I remember
I'm gonna write
riding in
that
the
down.
back of a pickup truck with 4 or
Missy, you
5
remember
people.
writing it? I was like, wow,
No,
Clayton.
I remember riding in the back of a
Delusions of grandeur.
back of a truck on the way to the theater with like, I don't know, 6 or 8 other kids that were in my neighborhood. We all went to see it, the original Star Wars together.
See, that was a simpler time because now you can't even put a 5-year-old kid in a trunk.
Right. So here
Without
we
paying
were.
$1,000 fine.
Here we were in Missouri in the back of an old Chevy pickup.
We're all going to hell.
I gotta tell you, these are just as delicious as I remember.
Aren't they, Harley?
Holy fuck!
Are they? Or are you just drunk?
This is the food oh the gods.
I've been
By
on,
the way-
I've
No,
been
my
on a
wine
Pop-Tart
glass is
binge.
empty because of all your rapierness.
Before Al continues on, we have a huge amount of live listeners right now listening to the audio stream. Of course, several people in the United States. I want to welcome the country of Chile, Jordan, Costa Rica.
Those are all new.
The United Arab Emirates are there. So
have-
thank you all for listening, and join us in the chat room if you can. Let us know what you're doing.
That's 3 new ones, and then we have Ann from Washington. who I don't
Ann,
think we've
right.
ever met before. And
No,
Don recommended my dear friend Amy Petito, who you may realize from alphabetically. We spent a lot of time in high school together because Perkins to Petito's not a long way through the alphabet.
Neither
Not a
is
big
Al.
jump.
Neither is Al to what's her name? Ann.
Amy.
Oh,
Amy?
yeah, no, but
either way, you were screwed.
Pellegrino and Petito were two in Penvos. Those 3 girls were trapped with me for like a decade that I think they're still in therapy about. And I see Kelly Penvos every once in a while, and she still has that look on her face like, oh, dear God, you're still alive.
We have that every Tuesday.
How is that medically possible that you're still alive? Okay, so the last thing I was talking about was, again, and I have to say it every week until he takes some kind of a break, but last week tonight with John Oliver,
Hysterical.
he just hits every fucking thing.
Is he
dead
the one taking over
square
for-
on the news
For Colbert?
No, he's got his own show now. Last week tonight on
Yeah.
HBO, and it's just genius television.
I saw it today.
And it brilliantly done. The story of like what the fuck is wrong with Kansas, and now they're trying to raise money for taxes off a closing porn industry. All the words anchors won't say on TV, and he literally finds something from A to Z of them saying A word, N word, S word, R word, T word, and he finds an anchor, and he goes through the entire alphabet, and I was like, okay, how is that even possible? He was
really funny.
He was probably at F when I was finally like, oh, he's gonna go through every letter,
gonna
and he
do
got
everything.
like there was an X word. Somebody had it's the X word. And I'm like, no, there were so many letters. I was like, no, I don't know what word you mean. I literally don't know what word you mean.
I can cuss like a sailor, and I don't know what word that is.
So
we need to look that up.
And what's becoming our continuing topic of old women releasing strange albums, Aretha Franklin joins the mix of Barbra Streisand, where she's decided to cover people. And I have to thank Jesus Christ himself, or whoever you self-identify with, that she was going to do Last Dance, and somebody kicked her, or I spiked her coffee, but she put that dream to rest, and she went with I Will Survive. I'm hoping the estate of Paul Jabbar was like, no, lady, you are not going near that song.
Can I jump in real quickly and take credit for that, by the way?
For stopping
part?
that?
No, for this resurgence of people doing covers, because I had said this about 5 years ago. I said this about Mariah Carey, and Mariah, is she in the chat room?
Yeah, she is.
She's listening. She doesn't chat much, but
I
she's
said this to
listening.
Mariah 5 years ago when she first started putting out these bomb CDs. I said, you need to stop with this bullshit and put out a cover CD. Put out a CD full of songs that people already know and love, because she can sing, and she can sing them better than almost anybody. Stop trying to be the 22-year-old
Right. The problem
sex
is,
girl.
though,
And you know what? Susan Boyle puts out these CDs of covers, sells them like crazy. No
people-
one's buying music anymore. But look. If you look at the top CDs this week, it's Barbra Streisand. It's Tony Bennett with Lady Gaga doing standards, and they're selling big numbers. A couple weeks ago, the number one CD in the country had only sold like 30,000 units. This week, the Lady Gaga Tony Bennett CD sold over 100,000. Barbra Streisand sold over $200,000.
Right.
I mean, not $200,000 copies.
And I'm with you in spirit. Honest to God, I will join in. But then for every time that I'm for that, Rod Stewart gets his dirty fucking paws on the American Songbook, and I want to kill myself. And I'm sure that
And you know what? He's not worried about it.
but he's shitty.
He's
But
selling
then-
CDs like a motherfucker.
Right, but then you have all these people in America that think that the Great American Songbook sucks. Have you heard that shit?
That's a good point.
And they
He made every song shitty. He made. That is exactly. If I was Aretha Franklin and I heard Rod Stewart singing even one bar of those, that was the 5, 6, 7 shittiest CDs ever recorded.
And they sell like crazy.
Oh, it's like listening to someone vomit to Gershwin.
He goes on
It's just
QVC
awful.
and sells them too.
Oh, I know.
Does he?
He is the lowest form of human. Any respect I had for him went out the door when he peed on the American Songbook. Those are atrocious.
The copy, the music that he has moved on that versus his original material, it's not even. In the last like 10 years, he has set himself so far ahead.
The good thing is they don't make a lot of money off them because they didn't write any of the songs. So those are like the cheapest CDs to make, because most of those songs from the American Songbook are now in public domain
They're royalty free.
and they're free. Oh,
I didn't know that.
ladies and gentlemen, have yourself identify. If you see Rod Stewart on the street, kick him. Just kick him hard for me.
He'll know what it's for.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he will.
And then ask him this very question.
That is shitty ass fucking music. And I love Aretha. Like she remakes everything. When she got to Everyday People, Sly and the Family Stone, and I was sitting shoving a burrito in my face in some restaurant in North America.
Like you do.
Like I really do.
Marquitos.
And I'm like, oh, Aretha, settle down. And then halfway through, I'm like, no, she's got this. Mm-hmm. And then when she remade CNC's Music Factory, she remade Pride, A Deeper Love.
Oh.
Fantastic. I mean, when she gets her hands on stuff.
That was theirs at first?
Yeah, it's a CNC Music Factory
I didn't know
song.
that.
Yeah, it's from.
Look at me trying not to learn anything, but still learning.
Still learning. But then you let her out, and Aretha, what you see is what you groove, or what the fuck that name of that CD is. That's where that shit comes from, and I bought that. And in the middle of a beautiful song from, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, Aretha, it's time to take the Valium and just say, you know what? I'm not going to record music this year.
She's crazy. No, she's crazy and doesn't give a fuck.
No, she doesn't. So I was really worried, but the Rolling in the Deep, it's okay. It did.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I love the mashup of Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah, that was a nice little, because do something, if you're going to remake something, make it your own somehow, give your own flair to it. Just don't scream what in the hell is going on in the middle of a song. But all I can picture is she read the lyric about, and the tigers come at night with their voices soft as thunder, and thought, what in the hell is going on?
Keep it in. Keep going, Aretha. Keep going.
Yes, exactly.
There's that.
Where it's a metaphor, darling. So that's just funny. But I just thank God she didn't go after Last Dance, because that song was written so specifically for a certain 40s style of. It was meant to be a big band song set to a disco era, and it needs that clean, crisp vocal. The whole point to that song was to bring a big band era sound to disco.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It was meant very specifically for her, and the fact that she sang cleanly, no miasma, none of those runs, none of that Mariah Carey bullshit. Like, if you're hitting a note, hit the note, move on. Like, it was meant to be sung cleanly in a 40s Andrew Sisters style. Like, this needs to be sung clean. No
Didn't know
fucking
that
around. So, and that's when I was like, Aretha can't do that. Like, she just does many things well, but she does not sing a song straight. If you want fun, just when Mary J. Blige was still not Mary J. Blige, there is a duet on YouTube of her and Aretha Franklin where Aretha Franklin doesn't know who she's on stage with. Oh, no. And she just takes a giant shit on Mary J. Blige. And it is... I have to say her name like that because that's how Whitney Houston introduced her when she was all fucked up on cocaine. Mary J. Blige! But Aretha Franklin doesn't know who she's singing with and just doesn't trust Mary J. to, like, take the song over. So she just sings over her and pretty much punches her in the face and kicks her down the flight of stairs and will not let someone else sing. So she's good times. That's the whole entertainment section.
So soon?
What was which song was it?
Surprisingly short. I don't even remember.
I just curious.
Because trust me, Mary J. Blige didn't show up for another duet with that woman.
Oh, we'll find out. All right, let's continue on with what we have in store. And we have in store Kat Carlson.
Good Lord, this week in sports
Yes!
and other stuff. Bye-bye Derek Jeter. Major League Baseball playoffs, parenthetically the big nap. Carrying on in fine lesbian tradition, we have the FIBA's Women's Basketball Championship update. And then in other stuff, will the Supreme Court take on gay marriage and other exciting Supreme Court stuff? Dun, dun.
That's what they call it. That's actually what they call it.
Supreme Court stuff? Mm-hmm. I know. That's on the memo.
Or Supreme Courting.
Supreme Courting. Well, we're going to start with Derek Jeter.
Rapier things to talk about. Go ahead.
People that listen to sports know that Derek Jeter played his last game this week. And in an exclusive interview with Matt Lauer, which airs tomorrow, the 5-time World Series champion, Derek Jeter, is opening up about retirement and saying it's given him a new life. Following a game-winning hit in his final at-bat at Yankee Stadium and a rousing ovation from, of all people, Red Sox fans at his last game, Jeter fielded questions from Lauer for the likely Hall of Famer's first television interview since his retirement. Lauer says, okay, you're 2 days into the rest of your life. So what's the first day like? I mean, obviously, you're coming off the high of Boston. What was it like? Did you look around? Did you stand in your apartment and say, now what? Jeter replied, it's funny because someone had mentioned to me I went from being an old man in baseball to a young man in life. And I like how that sounded, so I consider myself young again. In addition to saying he's 100% sure he's not returning to baseball, the former Yankees captain...
He said, I'm returning to baseball.
He said... I'm at the batting cages weekly. The former Yankees captain also talks about handling the spotlight, including the emotional moments of his final home game, which almost ended without his game-winning hit. He says, when we got into the 8th inning and, fans started chanting, thank you, that's when I almost lost it on the field. And to be honest with you, if the game would have finished with the score at 5-2 like we all thought it was going to finish, then there's no telling what would have happened. But my emotions just immediately changed because they tied the game, and then now it's you got to go in and hit. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I had to go out and try to do this again. So everything changed from being sad to excited. And, once I was excited, then I kept it together. And you can tune in to tomorrow, to catch the rest of the interview.
Unless you're listening tomorrow, then it would be already done.
Today on tomorrow and tomorrow and today. Do you remember those ads?
I'm glad to play for hamburger today, tomorrow for hamburger today, whatever the hell it is.
You know what? Normally I would roll my eyes and sort of glaze over at this whole
Derek
calamity
Jeter thing,
around
right?
him. Mm-hmm. But he is worthy of all of this. He is like the rare person who has conducted himself as a gentleman.
Absolutely. He's absolutely...
on the field, off the field. He's played clean.
Scandal-free. He's a good-looking guy. He does good things. Absolutely.
He does good things. He has a good sense of humor. Like, I remember when he was on Saturday Night Live. I mean, he's really worthy of all of that. And, I would like to think
he is New York. Like, when you go there, that's like, if you're sleeping with a Mexican, or Puerto Rican or anybody, or Cuban, you do not fuck around with Gloria Estefan or Jesus. Like, those are sacred. And if you're in New York... I'm sorry, Derek Jeter's like the Statue of Liberty. That's just off limits.
Go pee on the statue, but Derek Jeter...
You got something shitty to say in New York City, If you want to live
He's
through
worthy
the
of
subway,
that.
yeah.
I could see kids looking up to him. I would hope kids would look up to him. rather.
Absolutely. You know, he's been playing since I lost faith in baseball, which was many, many years ago. I was a baseball fan as a kid. I was the little kid with like the baseball mitt in my pocket all the time and baseball cards and everything. And then they went on strike for like the third time in 1994, and I was like, "Fuck you, people! No World Series. Go fuck yourself."
You're a big boycotter.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Did they not have a World Series one year?
Yeah. One year the baseball. I believe it was 94. Because I was still young.
I was underage.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh,
Sure.
so nearly believable. I thought it was one of the.
Ooh, did I accidentally?
Don't throw your nuts at me. Last week his pussy was shouting at me. Just gets rapier every time I come here. And it was one of those, like, it was almost a Cinderella moment of getting the RBI at the last minute it was so like Miracle on Ice with the nephew in the stands saluting, and then the mom saying, "Take off your hat for your uncle." And I was a weeping fucking mess watching that.
You would
shit.
roll your eyes in if it were in a movie.
Right, I would never, because I'd think Steven Spielberg was there and John Williams be hitting me over the head with
I didn't get to
Symphony
see it.
Rise,
But
crescendo.
He sat here. It was just so well timed out, and it's a class act, and it was really, really nice.
Well deserved.
I read several accounts of his last game and his finish up as I was kind of preparing for the show, and I kind of teared up at a couple of them, like just how it went down and that last hit and everything. It's very sweet, and baseball will probably miss Derek Jeter.
And there's a Broadway play called Take Me Out, which is where we get, and I can't think of his name, but he's in every movie you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, not him.
Okay.
He's in that? Oh, I was going to say.
No, that's the name that I've been screaming out for 2 weeks from
Yeah.
the future when I
He's
re-listen
so
back
cute.
because I can't remember.
I never
it.
remember Ember Nick Humblebink. So anyways, and it was a story about what if the best player on the Yankees and the most beloved player was gay, and what would they do? And he gets his agency sends a gay guy to help with his image, and the gay guy is very like queenie and feminine, and this is the guy that's in every movie you've ever seen, and he won the Tony for the performance.
They were just away.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there on IBDB. We can get it either way. Either take me out or go to IMDb and look up Michael Clayton, because he's in that too. But he's on every year. Dennis O'Hare. I'm like, he's on American Horror Story.
It's Dennis O'Hare.
Dennis O'Hare. So he plays the gay guy,
work.
and Daniel Sanjaya plays the Michael Jeter. The vaguely ethnic
Derek Jeter-ish.
hot guy, and what they
Right.
do about the showers. And it was this really touching story of the Derek Jeter character was like, I'm in this macho profession, I'm a gay guy, I have no way to reach out to like anybody to like have a relationship, and
Find
here's this
my
like
people.
really queenie guy who's lost. He lives in a sports world because he works in a sports agency, so they find each other, and it's not a love story, it's just about being friends and helping each other like come out and make friends. And they win the Yankees win the World Series, and how everything goes down, and it's a great play. And it got a lot of people offended because they kind of hinted that Derek Jeter might be
inspiration.
gay.
Many hope to.
But it was just about high on the list.
Sure.
Chief
And-
among them.
Stalker premieres tomorrow
I don't know why y'all look at me.
because you've been asking about it. So I just want to set your DVR. Stalker
go.
tomorrow. Write that down.
How do you spell that?
The Yankees aren't
LK?
going to win the World Series this year, and we don't know who is going to, because the Major League Baseball playoffs are beginning tonight, in fact, as the Oakland A's face off against the sentimental favorites, the Kansas City Royals, who I don't think anybody's ever said anything about the Kansas City Royals in about 20 years.
Why are they sentimental favorites?
Well, because the franchise last appeared in the postseason in 1985,
Oh, well,
when
no.
George Brett finished second in the MVP voting, and Brett Saberhagen took home his first of 2 Cy Young Awards. Major League Baseball is also very sentimental about the Youngs, and they posted a handy photo on Instagram, which offers a brief time capsule into 1985, stating that the president was Ronald Reagan, gallon of gas, $1.09.
Jesus.
The Missy Elmobile was introduced to North America.
Oh.
That wasn't on the meme, but the best picture was Out of Africa. Number 1 song was Careless Whisper,
Remember when Jane Pauley used to do that on Dateline?
which...
And she would do that exact thing.
I do
This Year
remember
in
the
History?
timeline. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Microsoft releases Windows 1.0 and compact discs were released in the United States.
Yikes.
And the very first, and one of the first ones, Barbra Streisand, the Broadway album. If you got the CD, you got the bonus track of Adelaide's Lament.
1985.
So guess who
what a good year.
Guess when I got a CD player? 1985. Well guessed.
That's when I got mine.
So the
Because I
Royals,
wanted Adelaide's Lament.
the Royals have not seen in October in a very long time, and so making them the sentimental favorites. They will likely kick themselves for slipping up in the second half of the season and allowing the Detroit Tigers to win the American League Central. But as long as they make it through the one-game playoff unscathed, all will be forgiven.
And the Kansas City Royals actually play here quite a bit. They do spring training. They're one of the teams that does spring training here. So they have a lot of people come out here for that. So,
So they're doing very well this year, and stand by for more updates on baseball forthcoming in the next coming couple of weeks because playoffs are happening.
So if the Yankees make it, will
Yankees are done
how come?
they didn't
because
make
they didn't win.
They didn't.
That's why Derek Jeter's last game was this weekend.
because they're not going to the playoffs.
Oh, but they won, didn't they?
They won that
They won the
game.
game.
They won his last home game, but they did not win enough games over the season
Oh, I
to
see.
make it to the
to
playoffs.
qualify past to get
Right.
into the top 10.
Thank
Let
you.
me put it in pageant terms. Let me help you out there, lady.
There.
Thank you.
Give her a pageant.
Let me rapier
did
it
not-
for you.
Shiny.
They did not make it past on-stage questions.
Thank you.
That was good, Kat.
They're gonna surprise Rosie Perez and have him on The View.
Oh, are they?
They're not even like hiding that.
They were very, less than vaguely hinting about Derek Jeter being on The View when I was binge watching today. So, yeah, I'm sure.
Don't you seriously, though, love Nicole?
I do. No, Nicole Wallace is fantastic. I'm back mostly because Rosie O'Donnell is back. I left when she left. Back to The View. Yeah. No, good show. There's something about Rosie Perez.
And
that's
I've
just
invented
rubbing me the wrong
18
way. I
fucking
don't know
years
why.
in that show. You know what I mean? I can't give up now.
Oh, yeah, you better just continue. So speaking of continuing in a long tradition started by Katie June of following lady basketball. I don't know.
Long tradition.
I heard Katie Lang, and then I realized you said Katie June.
Did I say Katie June?
Same vein, if you will.
But who did you really say?
Same orientation. I meant Katie June.
That's
I
what
may
I
have said
heard.
Katie
What
Lang.
I heard
don't-
was is
No, I
June
think-
Long did start by Katie Lang. And
No,
I'm
I
like,
heard Katie June.
Oh, thank God.
nuts.
This week in lady
Things that'll take you a
basketball,
week to chew.
Sunday night was no party for Team USA with the reigning women's world champions' unbeaten run of 35 international games coming close to being threatened by a Serbian team riding high on speed
Fucking
and skill.
Serbians.
USA dug deep
Write down
into their
Serbians.
reserves in the fourth quarter
They dug deep.
to blow open the tight game and post what looked like an easy 94-74 win that booked their place in Friday's quarterfinals. Their coach is simply not worried. He says, "It takes us time because this is our training camp. These games are kind of like our training camp. These last 5 or 6 games we played in Paris in the exhibition series
No, stop.
and here." Yes.
What is this? I don't
Okay.
understand.
Oh, because the WNBA, I'll field this one. The WNBA doesn't have enough viewership to play like a whole season. They do like a little mini American season, and they all become one team of lesbians, and they go invade the rest of the world. And they become it's like the Olympics. So we have the Team USA made up of all the best players from the WNBA, and they like all
I
basketball.
love how he cliff notes this whole goddamn thing. I love it.
Like all basketball, we dominate the world. We invented the sport. We're really good at it. It's like a jazz off. So we win.
Jazz
We
hands.
made it up.
Yeah.
So now these lesbians are all in Paris. A complete waste of Paris and lesbians.
Well, they're
Sorry,
in Turkey
Molly.
now. No.
Complete waste of Paris. I didn't know that.
Cliff's noting.
Never heard
yeah,
of that.
there's an international
Or as
women's
we like to call
basketball
it,
tournament happening now.
Clits noting.
Glitz noting.
Thank
Does
you.
the NBA do that? Does football
The
do that?
NBA also does that. The men's FIBA tournament just ended, I believe, because NBA is beginning now.
But they have a much longer American season and a
Mm-hmm.
much shorter international season. But
This
that way
is new to me. I never. Did
that-
you know this?
I've heard of it, but I don't pay a lot
Because of
attention.
here?
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know
because
that
I brought
otherwise.
it up last week. I think.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
That's fine.
Well,
I don't like not knowing things.
what's that gay
let's
guy
go
that
right
used
here
to
to
sit
help.
over there?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Was the one that told us about how the NBA has to go earn money overseas.
Yeah.
Because they play such a short
That
season.
makes sense.
The
Their
WNBA.
season's only
Yeah.
4
And no one comes
4
to
or
the
5
games.
months. No, they were on the brink of bankruptcy and they've completely turned it around. All the stuff that they're
All
doing.
the leagues are doing well, or just the ones that are winning? Because I know we won.
Yeah.
No, like all of them are getting their actual. They're not getting viewership on TV, but their attendance is
up.
Because
kind of
Katie,
across
because
the board.
Katie June buys tickets for everybody and takes them. That's why.
Last time I went to a Mercury game,
She's
there
never
was
taken
nobody
me.
there. I was horrified for them.
Yeah, WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury does pretty well, especially in years that they win. Like this year was a really good year because they went on long winning streaks. They also have really great partnerships that kind of help with that. Fry's buys an entire section. Like if you can't afford the $15 to go see a Mercury game, go buy your groceries at Fry's and save your receipts during Mercury season. And if you spend $50 or more, they give you 2 tickets. And you
I hate
just go
to
stand in line.
hijack this right now.
Please.
But speaking
She's
of
used to
Fry's, the Fry's at 7th Avenue and Camelback does not have a bike rack, has not had a bike rack for 3 months.
I brought this up and they shut me down the other day saying that it was back. And I brought this up 2
Oh,
weeks
it's not back
ago.
because I just tweeted, and they tweet back to me every time, and I still don't have a bike rack.
No, you gotta lock your bike to the. I lock it to the shopping cart.
Yeah, so that people can crash their cart into your bike.
Yeah.
You know what I do now? I lock it to a cart that's already locked because you can't pick up.
Right.
But anyways. But yeah, so I want everybody, if you're listening or if you're in the chat room, go and tweet them about this. Maybe if like 10 people tweet them and say, hey, Fry's Groceries,
What's our
the deal?
hashtag? What's our hashtag?
Well, I don't know.
Fry's fucking sucks.
Save Barbara's bike. But I'll put a picture on my Facebook and you guys can all send it to them and say, hey, fix the, because they literally write back within like 2 hours every time they write back and they take your tweet down. They write you back, but then they take
Why don't
it
you
down.
get a sign and go protest in front of the store?
Who has
Go
time?
Ooh.
I guess I could do it on Monday nights.
There you go.
Union.
Go ahead, Kat.
Thank
Sorry
you,
about
Norm. Barbara Ray.
So, Thinking Good Thoughts as Team USA continues into the quarterfinals. Their next game is on Friday.
that. Ooh.
They will play either France or Brazil, depending on tomorrow night's
Depending
game.
on what their pubic hair looks like.
Exactly.
Oh.
Lord.
Check me.
I'm sorry. That was kind of rapier.
Wow.
Do they sell kits
It's
for
meant
that?
for
I feel
thrusting.
like I need a rapier kit at this point.
You may. We'll get you one.
In some states, you have to pay for those yourself.
Good Lord.
Like a Pop-Tart?
Moving along, let's talk about the gays.
You've
Something
recently
that
been rapiered. Would you like a Pop-Tart?
perhaps are you going to toast it for me?
Sure.
I don't have that kind of time.
That's fine. I understand. I'll take it raw.
Take it raw. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Read your story, Kat. Read your story.
Oh, God, I'm uncomfortable.
Hovering over the Supreme Court's 2014 docket of interesting cases is the blockbuster issue of gay marriages. The justices met behind closed doors on Monday to discuss whether to hear one or more cases challenging marriage bans in 5 states. This set of issues is the greatest civil rights issue of our time, says former acting Solicitor
Grayest
General.
or greatest?
Greatest.
Sorry.
Grayest.
No, either
Their
one works.
cunt
I'm humble.
flap- Ruth Bader's cunt flaps are probably gray. Let's just say
Blue waffle. That's all I got to say.
Oh.
it. I still want my action doll. My dinner with Ruth Bader. Do you get it?
Yes.
Thank you. See, that's the reaction you should have to that joke. Thank
Sit
you.
down and butter your muffins, cunt flap.
It's weird to hear my own voice yell at me.
Isn't it annoying?
That's gonna come up in therapy.
What's Ginsburg talking about? Come on. Keep going.
Shut it.
Ooh. You got served.
This set of issues is the greatest civil rights issue of our time, says former acting Solicitor General Neil Katyal, who is representing one set of challengers. Since the Supreme Court's historic gay marriage rulings in 2013, 3 appellate courts have struck bans in 5 states. In an unusual circumstance, Katyal and the other challengers have asked the Supreme Court to step in despite having won in the lower court, which I thought was interesting. Here's the sentiment according to Katyal. Let us have our shot in court and win on a national level. The court could decide not to get involved at all, but the executive director of the Supreme Court Institute at Georgetown Law thinks it's not a question of if, but when. At a recent event, he said that the court might take a few weeks to discuss which cases to take, but that the justices will eventually grant cert and give a definitive answer this term.
I think they're gonna cherry pick which case they take and decide which one has the best chances of passing.
Mm-hmm.
No, and
I agree.
We've been talking about that. They're waiting for the Sixth Circuit to hand down their judgment, and if the Sixth Circuit stays with the rest of the trend, then they won't do anything. Then they're going to ignore it.
They're just going to ignore it. And so if they say no, they're going to intervene.
Then they have to take it up, because then you have like 90,
then you at least have one
95%.
dissension, right?
Yeah, you have one dissension. So now you have to make up their mind. And because of who the Sixth Circuit covers, which is like Ohio, Kentucky, it's kind of like Rust Belt and South. It like starts.
Yeah, it was
kind of
Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, and
very Tennessee River Valley kind of ish. If my geography's correct. So
I feel like there was
that's
a
what
Carolina.
Ruth Bader keeps saying is they're kind of waiting to see what the Sixth Circuit does. And I just Googled, and they don't look like they're any closer.
Yeah. I looked it up earlier today, and there didn't seem to be any movement. Everything's just talking about the Supreme Court and if and
I'm sorry,
when.
they have started scheduled oral arguments for October 7th. So we're still a week away.
Yeah.
Because I thought the Supreme Court was going to decide on theirs for. We're going to announce today for the first Monday in October. So they're going to be a ways.
They don't have to announce. I don't think the session starts October 6th.
But the news was saying that they were going to announce before they even went in whether they were going to take it. Yeah, which is strange.
I'm fascinated by the Supreme Court.
I am too. Well, it's a very interesting thing to read about. It honestly is.
It's very cool. And overshadowed by the gay marriage debate are the actual cases which the court will begin considering when oral arguments begin on October 6th. And here is a rundown of some of the other cases. Number 1, there's a free speech in the age of Facebook. It says after his wife left him, Anthony Alonis took to posting violent passages on Facebook. Did you know it's illegal for me to say I want to kill my wife? He posted in one. Hell hath no fury like a crazy man in a kindergarten class, he wrote in another.
Oh, that sounds like you'd arrest him.
He was convicted under a federal threat statute, but Alonis argues that he never intended to carry out a threat, and he was expressing himself at times using song lyrics that are similar to the music produced by rap star Eminem. At issue in the case is under what circumstances the government can punish speech as a threat. It's an interesting intersection of internet speech, rap music, and the First Amendment.
That is interesting.
Huh. Number 2, religious freedom in prison. Gregory Holt pled guilty in 2005 for threatening to kidnap and harm the daughters of George W. Bush. In 2010, he was convicted of first-degree domestic battering and sentenced to life. Once in prison, Holt said he wanted to grow a beard in accordance with his Muslim faith. But while the Arkansas Department of Corrections allows mustaches, it forbids other facial hair. Quarter-inch beards are permitted only for diagnosed dermatological problems. And Holt says the prison is violating his rights under a federal law specifically designed to protect religious exercise for prisoners. But corrections officials say the court should give deference to a policy that was crafted to keep inmates from hiding contraband and to protect security.
So in case you arrest the Duck Dynasty people and they're smuggling in a weapon.
Right, yeah, they shave all the beards off and this guy's saying...
I need to call them by their Christian name, the Duck Fuckers.
They're actually an off-brand Halloween costume right now. I saw it the other day.
Duck fuckers?
No, just that Duck Dynasty thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're called like American hillbillies or something like that.
Well, that pretty much sums it up.
Because you can't infringe on their trademark. See, I get really mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I do too. I get religious freedom, but once you're convicted of some pretty serious crimes, then don't you lose all of your rights?
I don't.
No, I don't think so either. And that's what if it's religious, keep the fucking beard.
If we're gonna go down that road,
sure,
you go down that road all the way, and you start curtailing those freedoms in general. But no, I mean that's not what America is. And it's just like the guy, the Muslim football player, who stopped and prayed after scoring.
And bowed.
Abdullah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he bowed to the east.
Yeah, he bowed, and the officiant did he?
He got a.
Was it a technical foul?
No, he got a penalty for celebration. What's that called?
Uh-huh.
In the end zone.
Excessive celebration.
Like
yeah. And it was really stupid after Tebow did all his shit.
It's fucked up.
And the people that sit around and make a prayer circle during a field goal, like, come on, we have a lot of religious expression over there.
I know these people are in prison, but you know what? We're still in America, and they're I don't know, man.
I don't know. Yeah, that's one of those things where either you're for freedom of religion or you're just freedom for some religions. Like you have to, you're in or you're out. That's one of those things. You got to go. And that was and the NFL apologized for it today.
Yeah,
like, they were like, should not have been penalized.
Sure.
Because all I got to do is put up a picture of Tim Tebow, and you're like, no, we're done. Or seriously, like every time someone kicks a field goal, there's a prayer circle over there. They're basically knitting. You know what I mean? I mean,
can we knit?
I agree totally, and I think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, I think
I say shave his fucking beard. Like he's, they've I mean, because I'm on the Supreme Court, so.
you say shave it.
Yep. If it poses a security threat and it's already the policy at the prison, like,
Is it a genuine security threat?
I don't know. I'm not. I've only seen Orange Is the New Black. I don't know what you can smuggle in a beard.
Well, that beard. Brazilian or French, man. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not talking
Rapier.
clams here, friend. I'm not talking clams.
What the hell is going on?
What am I sharing with you now? All right, I'll do a peanut
Where's
butter.
your
All right.
Take the cap off, Joan.
Oh.
It won't pour without Jesus Christ. You are trying. You have to unscrew the cap. What happened to your? Did you chug your other bottle?
I shared some with him.
Together.
Oh no! I just thought I didn't know how much he'd already polished off.
Not enough.
Yeah,
Not
there's that.
enough. I'm
There's-
not rapier enough.
Fair enough. We'll talk about 2 more cases they're taking, and then I'm done.
Okay.
Alabama redistricting. The Alabama Legislative Black Caucus and the Alabama Democratic Conference are challenging a 2012 redistricting plan adopted by a Republican-led legislature. They say the plan packed African Americans into existing majority black districts and diluted their influence. Alabama's Attorney General says in part that the drafters of the plan were seeking to comply with the Voting Rights Act by keeping the majority black districts under the new plan about the same as the ones in the previous plan. This will be the first voting rights case heard by the justices since a divided court struck down a key provision of the Voting Rights Act.
Cat,
And
where
this-
is this again?
This is a big,
the Alabama?
Alabama.
fucking
Of
deal.
course it is.
Gerrymandering is how
Gerrymandering's
it's running rampant, and yes, the Democrats do it in New York State. There's a lot of it in the districts, especially Long Island, where they cut big wide swaths to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And they do it in California to get the Republicans all off in their little area so they don't bleed into other places. But down south, it's gotten out of control, which is why the Republicans control Congress, but they received less votes than the Democrats because they were they're so concentrated in the South. And if you follow those lines, it's like that is just a crazy bunch of bullshit.
It is crazy town.
And Arizona's done it, which is why we have
several times.
we have 3 Democratic congressmen, Ed Pastor, bisexual, and the other one.
And Kirkpatrick.
And Kirkpatrick and
Kirsten
Sinema.
Kirsten Sinema. But you have those 3 who are pretty much guaranteed because downtown
Well, we
Phoenix.
got Ron Barber too.
But I mean, those are the 3 that I know that are just kind of like unless something really horrible happens, they can't redistrict these areas to make them ever go back to being Republican. Like it's an urban center.
Right.
And it's especially after 2008 with how everything went wrong and all the white flight stopped and everybody moved back into the city out of like the stupid ass fucking parts of Arizona where no one should ever live. But they really did stop that. So
Put
now,
those people on the list.
Yeah.
Stupid ass. Yes, they should be over there.
But now you have people that
spell
will
that?
never lose their seats. Like even though no one likes Congress, there's all this desire for change. No one's ever going to vote for the other team because they're in districts where it's like 95 to 5% of how the it's made up. Like even if someone made a big swell, no one downtown is not gonna get a Republican.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
SB 1070. Like it's not gonna happen. Right. So I mean it kind of screws up that one part of our government that's so important, and you end up with like the big change last time was like Alan West getting kicked out of that rapier part of Florida, and that part I meant rapier, like rapier. Like the fact that he lost by 0.5%, and here is
spooky.
one of the stupidest men that's ever existed.
What is he doing now?
Oh, he's on Fox News telling us that the war in Iraq is already lost and we should all just send everybody home and hire a private militia. Like he's just so stupid. But he was never going to lose, and somebody had to beat him by like 5 votes, and it took 4 days to decide the election. It was
Yeah,
that
he didn't
close.
give up.
No, he didn't give up, but he shouldn't have to because that district was so gerrymandered to make him win. Think of how stupid you have to be to actually
To lose that when they
lose
rigged it
the
for
rigged
you.
election.
And
yeah.
like Michelle Bachmann had to quit because they can't redistrict her into a winning position. She's offended so many people that they can't even find 50% of any group that are like, she's not a cunt.
Right.
Well, sorry, 50.1. Like, no, and that's why she resigned. She's already resigned her seat because they told her, like, you came so close last time that
We're not giving you any money. We're not spending our time on you.
There's no
You're
way to woo
unelectable.
anybody. Like, there's no one you're going to woo. There's not some 17-year-old about to turn 18 that's like, wow, she's fantastic. I was hoping to find a stupid person to vote for. I was meaning to vote for a cunt this year. Is she available?
I remember when Sarah Palin was running for vice president, my sister was kind of into her a little bit.
Really?
And my sister was like, well, God, she's just normal. She reminds me of me. And I remember my sister's a good person. She's a smart person, and, you know, she takes care of herself. But I remember saying, I was like, Anne, do you want someone like you?
That's a fair question. I don't know that I would elect me.
I mean, I don't. I don't want someone like me to be the president.
I thought you were going to encourage her and say, you're far smarter than her, but no, you went the other route.
What, somebody like you?
Honest.
You went the rapier way.
I mean, you don't want that.
Right.
No.
I wouldn't elect me.
No.
All right. And finally, finishing
We all
up
don't have to answer that question, do we? If we would elect her?
Shut it.
Okay.
I believe in you probably more than you believe in you.
Possibly.
Probably.
I believe
We're
in
not going to vote on that,
future.
are we?
No.
What's the last
I
part?
almost made it through my segment without saying fuck it.
We're not done yet.
That's not fun.
Last section, the last case that we're going to talk about that the Supreme Court will hear this term is about pregnancy discrimination. Peggy Young, an employee of UPS, the United Parcel Service, became pregnant in 2006 and was told by her doctor not to lift anything heavier than 20 pounds for the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. Young asked her supervisor for an accommodation for her pregnancy-related lifting restrictions. She was told that UPS, governed by a collective bargaining agreement, did not give light duty for pregnancy. Young sued under the Pregnancy Discrimination Act, or the PDA, arguing that the law requires employers to provide the same accommodations it provides to non-pregnant employees who are similar in their ability or inability to work. UPS indeed offers light work accommodations to a subset of workers who are injured on the job, have a disability defined by the Americans with Disabilities Act, or lose their Department of Transportation certification. But UPS says it has a pregnancy-neutral policy and that Young was treated exactly the same way as the company treats all employees, pregnant or not, who are unable to perform essential functions of the job as a result of an off-the-job injury or condition.
Yeah, you should go to a light duty.
Yeah, I mean, you should, but they said no. They said, no, you can't go on light duty. Like, we don't consider pregnancy to be an issue.
It should be.
Absolutely.
That should be a note from your doctor saying light duty. Like, you're going to audit files, or you're going to deal with the window lickers coming in to complain about the color of the brown truck.
Well, we can hope that the Supreme Court feels the same way that we do.
I always hope that, though.
And rules in favor.
Well,
Do you think people actually complain about the color of the truck?
you know they complain about everything.
True.
Because you're only 2 comments away from Obama, you're on brown. You're going to be a communist.
That's true.
Or Muslim.
You get to Obama
Seriously,
really fast with brown.
read fanboy pages. I'm just telling you. Go on
The
ID.
fifth comment down.
Fifth comment down, and you'll be like, if they get there in less than 5, I'm always kind of amazed.
Oh.
But I do because the election coming up is so important, and no one fucking knows about it.
No one's talking about it.
No one knows about it. The only good thing is that this whole like bombing of ISIS is kind of turning into the October surprise, where there is a little bit of momentum swinging towards the Democrats.
Because we're kicking their ass right now? Or trying to?
No, because we're coming off as tough on national security, so that is kind of helping, that it's improving the image that comes up. But like, there's so much important stuff coming up, and you have all these people that like have no idea that there's midterm elections, what they're about, what they're doing, and what's her name? Nancy Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra Pelosi, is a filmmaker, a brilliant woman, and she goes around and she does documentaries where she just stands
I just watched
in parking lots and she talks to people, and they're like,
she's
well,
funny.
And she doesn't mean to be funny. She's just it's kind of like Jay Leno man on the street interviews.
The jaywalking.
You're just showing how stupid people are, that the guy's like, well, I'm going to vote Republican. She's like, well, are you against shutting down Planned Parenthood? Are you against defunding Social Security? Are you against this? He's like, well, no, I don't want any of those things to happen. Then why would you vote Republican?
Right.
And he's like, oh. You know what I mean? And they don't know what to do. Or you get people that are like, I don't know who my congressman is. I don't know what I'm voting for. Like, I don't know who to vote for sheriff or dog catcher or school. But I have kids in school and I'm going to bitch about the school, but then I'm not going to go vote. So this thing about what's coming up in the Supreme, I think it's just so important to know, like, what's coming up in the Supreme Court. Because if Mitt Romney got to replace Ruth Bader, we'd be fucked up a creek.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Although I interrupt you all the time, I'm very appreciative
No, you're fine. I'm adapting to the format.
of me talking all the time.
Absolutely.
That's nice to know.
I've
We've been
left
doing
windows.
this for 2.5 years, and it's not better.
I've been doing it for 4 episodes.
So-
I'm still not.
You've been listening, and it's different to listen than to try to interject with this
I actually
fucker.
pay attention when I listen.
I find that too, because there's a lot of times I'm like, I didn't know what the fuck that news story was. Like, I can't wait to listen back and find out what really happened in that chicken truck. But as I take over the show,
Thought out
how
is
many
what
loads?
happened.
How many loads? Now, we had a question for you last week, but you weren't sitting there, so now you're here. What is the Facebook story with the real names and all that stuff? Like, what is the
What is the nitty gritty
issue?
about this in the
Yeah.
drag queens? Do you know any more than?
my first
I don't.
instinct was to believe that it was an urban legend and people were falling for it. That Facebook was kicking
No, it's
off the
real.
drag queens.
They're not kicking off drag queens. They're not targeting drag queens. They are wanting people to comply with the terms of service that you clicked that you would comply with. I would love to be Barbara Seville on Facebook. They don't want you to be. They want you to have your real name because, and I've read 2 different things about it. Number one, they say that being accountable for what you post
When you're doing the...
Sure.
keeps you honest and keeps you friendlier. Number 2, and this I didn't read from Facebook, but I read it from people who are social media watchers. They say that for Facebook to expand in other countries, because libel laws and slander laws are different, they need to know who you are. They want to know who you are because certain countries don't want to have all this madness going on in their place because the degrees of slander or libel are different.
So did Facebook contact you directly and say, "Hey,
No.
Barbara Seville, we know"?
No, but it did. It contacted a lot of people and
Really?
just flat out canceled their account.
Oh, and I thought yours had been canceled and you had to reboot. I thought
No,
I heard
I
that-
was sort of preemptive.
Oh, okay. I thought I read a thing of yours that like, oh, before they cancel me or
Yeah.
that's what it was before.
Yeah, so I switched it before.
Your rape or your
You don't
use
have
of
to name
before.
names, but was anyone locally like canceled? And then is that how we found out about it, or is it?
One drag queen who doesn't live here anymore is one who it happened to. My friend Ursula.
and
but-
Ophelia Buns, come on, she's got to be the first one on the chopping block because that's not a name.
Well, she doesn't have very many followers. She's not. She's not really a flag.
Rape your wit.
She's big in Flagstaff right here.
But
She is.
But it is fine to
Big in
make a
Japan.
like page or
Yes.
a fan page,
And that's why-
So did you make a Barbara Seville fan page?
Or do you already have one?
I've always had a fan page
Okay.
because
And
back,
you're just waiting for that first fan, right?
back when you could only have 2,500 followers on your Facebook, or not followers, friends. I created a thing, and then right after that, they expanded it to 5,000.
5,000, right?
But I have but they say that, and I guess it's not even a they say, it's just fact that your distribution is different when you're a like page. Like it doesn't get the priority that a personal page does. And so a lot of people think that this is just a way to generate revenue, so that you would because you can, for $20 I can get my fan page posts to pop up more frequently on
Yeah.
$20 a
people
month.
in Phoenix. Yeah.
$20 a month. Okay.
So some people say it's a way to generate revenue. Some
Well,
people,
and in fairness, that is all that's about.
it's a business.
It's a business,
Yeah.
and it is,
Sure.
and it didn't cost me a dime to sign up. And we reap benefits. Not that we make anything monetarily off of this, but because we post, all of us that post for the show, more and more people have found us. Though again, we don't make anything off of it, but you can certainly see that you trend more because of the visibility. So I understand for certain places, bars, restaurants, they want it. The $20 a month is nothing for them.
I made that number up. I know that when I had my party my Madonna party, I paid $20 a week
Oh.
to advertise my event, and it did hit. It definitely
Did it?
yeah, it
a
definitely
difference.
it reached more people because they would just feed it into other people's feeds that would normally not get it.
And I get those ads from different addictive.com. That's a political site. There's a couple of political sites that I notice they must be doing something because they bombard me with. And the worst part is this, I think it's addicting info.
Yeah, addicting info.
And I read almost every one of them. And I
Well,
have
that's
to-
why it's
have
popping
this-
up, is because you read it.
Yeah.
If you click on it, I mean, it's gonna.
It's already going to, right.
No, but they're also putting like there's other things that come up that I'm like, wow, you must be paying because I've never read you before.
I'm in the minority on my sort of balanced opinion on it because most everybody is just outraged and they're upset. And I'm like, you guys, you know what? We are not in the Constitution guaranteed a right to Facebook. So
Yeah.
you guys all need to slow the fuck down. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, what about? No, sorry, you guys. If you're in a situation with domestic violence, I hate to say it, but you know what? Maybe you need to take yourself off the off the grid for a minute. Maybe Facebook doesn't need to guarantee you a safe platform. If your family doesn't approve of you, of your lifestyle, maybe Facebook doesn't have to allow for that. Am I wildly...
No, I mean, I kind of get that, and because my thing is
if
like,
you're being stalked, maybe you should be able not that it's your fault, but maybe you just maybe
You're too visible.
At the end of the day, nobody's ever read them, and we've all lied about it. But those terms of service are binding.
We clicked them.
Like
we
we
said
clicked
yes.
it. We said yes. We said absolutely. I agree to whatever the fuck that was that I just scrolled past.
And but on the other hand, like there has to be a way for those people in those areas that don't have anywhere to reach out to besides coming to qtalkamerica.com and clicking on our show. But
Which is the only show there is.
Yeah, but there is a way to there has to be a way for them to anonymously meet people or find people without putting their name out there that can come back and haunt them.
Well, there's nothing that says that I have to have Clayton Allen McKee
Thank
on
you.
it. I could
Right.
just have CA. I could just go by Allen. I think they're more worried about.
Well, that's my question was, do I, because my name is not L.T. Perkins, so
right.
that's
Nobody's gonna fucking clock that.
right. But that's what I mean. Like, is somebody going to come down and be like, you need to correct that and get rid of
But
this and
unless-
change that?
I mean, maybe someday, but and
Well,
you
your name's
always
not
have the-
Kat.
No, but how?
My name's not Kat. No, certainly, but you always have the choice to stop using their service. Like,
Right, and if it came,
Thank you.
But if it came down to it, then yeah, I probably, because then I'd be like, well, now, like, I don't go by Alfred that often. I do
Right.
go, I do go by it, but
Yeah.
it's not me.
No, my
Isn't that what
Facebook's
you're
never
on
going to
in here,
say
though?
Catherine.
Aren't you Alfred in here?
No, I'm L.T. Perkins.
Where do you pop up as Alfred?
In your phone,
Yeah, I don't.
in your
Is
dreams.
your email address that way?
No, it's Missy L. Everything else about me is
Missy.
Missy L. Like every other thing about me ever written.
But no,
is
I
Missy
agree.
L.
You don't need to be Richard Devlin Stevens the 3rd, June 19th, 1981. You know what I mean?
Give away all your information,
Well,
would you
that's a lot of
please? Would you give it all?
information.
What's your phone number? And your
Last four of your social, please.
1981. Am I
Thank
supposed
you.
to believe that?
I was just happy that
slipped by.
that lived for a second.
I was in the ether for a moment.
I was told there'd be no math, but I'm like, wait a minute, bitch.
That's fantastic because at that exact moment I went, I'm not older than you are.
I'm like, wait a minute, that makes you younger than Jason Carlton.
And there's no way that's possible.
Oh my, well.
I'm not good at math.
We might want to change cosmetics.
Well,
What are you wearing now?
Listen, rapier.
Is that moose and squirrel in that hair? What's going on there, Richard?
So,
tired of
but
being
the one
abused
thing
this way.
the one way that I do agree with it is with the defamation of people and how awful it gets. And I love chat rooms. I'll read a news story and sometimes I suffer through to the end just to get to the comment section because I want to know like people's opinions on it. But then it just gets so ugly into like, oh, you're a stupid racist or you're this or you're that, and it goes ugly so fast that all intelligent conversation has just left the room, and now you're just at like name calling, which has a place about comment 20 or 21 because they are all stupid. So I get that with if you had your
All
real
stupid.
name on there and people knew like you were Al Perkins from Phoenix and you said this, they're going to be able to like email you and be like, we're coming for you, bitch. Like if you're going to keep saying that awful shit, we know where you are. Because you have to take some accountability. And when you see these people that are like, John T. Sousa, and that's kind of a real name, but you know what I mean?
I think we're friends.
When you're like Annie Lover or something stupid, and then you say that shit about people, and there's threats in there. There's legitimate threats. Yeah. And then if they have a really important story on Fox News, they shut down the comments for like the first 4 hours.
Oh, so people have to read it.
They can't be they can't have all racist listeners for a little while. Like
Make it a little less rapier.
Good for them.
yeah, exactly.
A little less rapier.
Little less rapier.
Well, speaking of rapier, we are about to get into our final, the rapiest section of all in our show. It's a little time.
Wow, we're just putting that word anywhere.
We are going to go into our final segment of the show called Thoughtful Vulgarity. It goes something like this.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
I bet you can't.
Alrighty. You've been warned.
Uh-huh.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we
That
go.
was Jeff Muir.
So we're gonna what?
Sorry, I was checking Facebook and somebody commented. I'm like, who the fuck is Jeff Muir?
I
don't
work
know.
with him.
Do you?
What'd you say?
Well, he said he loves my picture.
Oh, wow.
Look.
A little concerned.
Mir. Oh no, spelled. Oh my
Okay.
God. Okay, different spelling. I'm like, wow, that's
Ooh.
gonna be a conversation at work.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm always 3 degrees from everyone.
All right,
Carry on.
I got you. What do you do when someone is eating food in front of you and you want them to talk?
Just wait.
So speaking of defamation, and this actually, well, I think all of us have had a microphone in front of our face at some point.
Well, maybe now.
Just now, yeah.
Like,
I spent most of my life with talking into something that's not alive.
yeah.
Living in that radio.
Yeah, there you go, rapier.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I'm talking into something it doesn't answer until the penis blooms. What was it?
The what is
Because of
the-
an STD?
The coma plant. What's it called? No, not the coma.
Plant.
The corpse flower.
The giant penis plant.
Now, do you find yourself, like, especially, we'll make
There
this
I
more
am, there I
specific to
am.
you. There I am. Within drag, like, do you find yourself being a little, I don't want to say shittier, because that's kind of not what you're about, but...
The shitty
don't
Barbara
joke.
Seville.
Do you find yourself being a little bit more aggressive in drag, or when you're like microphone in hand than you would be like someone face to face? Like, do you find yourself saying like a little bit more off the cuff, like?
Well, I'm designed to entertain and to
Yeah.
elicit a response. So that's
I think we're all gonna hide under that umbrella.
I was afraid
so.
you were going to say, well, I'm drawn that way. I'm like, whatever, Jessica Rabbit.
you know what I mean? Like, that's why you're on stage, is to to be provocative.
When do you start entertaining? I was waiting.
I'm gonna start this week. I take 10 years on, 10 years off.
What time I'll be there?
Yeah, can we all show up?
Actually, I found myself a little embarrassed. I was a little rough with somebody a couple shows ago, but they were a complete idiot and deserved it. And like, had they just kept their mouth shut,
Said the bully.
Right.
no,
Yeah.
it was
No, I gotcha, I
it was really
gotcha.
me reacting to somebody who was just so far out of line that I was like, and afterwards I was like, oh God, did you have to really be that way? Because it reminded me of someone who I don't want to be like, actually.
Joan Rivers?
No.
Oh.
But did you?
Oh, I know who you're talking. I know exactly.
Yeah.
You played into something you shouldn't have played
Yeah.
into. Yeah.
And the audience laughed at it, and then I could feel the discomfort afterwards, and I was like, oh fuck. And it was embarrassing. But I think I would
And
be
he
that.
can walk away and you're still staying there. I think that's the problem.
And
with
I
that.
used the legendary, infamous Tish Tanner line. I said, you know what, babe? You're making an asshole out of yourself for free. I'm getting paid for it, so just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I tried to just make, we're both being idiots, but you're doing it for free. And this fool wouldn't shut up, and, we're just carrying on. But I was embarrassed how rough I was with him. But I would have done that in drag or out of drag.
Okay. So in now that you've been doing this for a few weeks, do you find yourself being like a little
Terribly ashamed of the things that I've done. That actually happens to me kind of often when I have a mic in front of my face, and I've, working at the bar, I've hosted and taught, and
That's what I mean, because we've all done
Yeah,
hosting things,
we've all done things.
different venues.
yeah, I've DJ'd and I did like weekly dance lessons for a long time, so I had that audience.
Can't
and,
tell.
I know. But yeah, I found myself kind of often kind of tripping into that like one step too far for kind of the shock value, and then going, oh fuck, yeah, I said that out loud. Yeah, really shouldn't do that. So yeah, was that the question?
Yeah, and
I
it's
stopped
just,
listening.
yeah, that's fair.
You are learning. You are learning quick grasshopper.
It's a question about
Thank
a
you.
chicken in an ice tray with a big load. Oh, and there's the load now,
Can you say load if you want to?
Jesus Christ.
just to make it more rapier in my mind.
More.
No, but it do you find yourself like you would never do that without the microphone? Like you'd never take that step?
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I think, but I don't know. Like most of my like human interaction is when I'm on at some point.
Yeah.
I'm such a hermit when I'm not on. Like I'm at home and I'm with just the family and the kids, and even them I want them to leave me the fuck alone most of the time. It's true.
I love it.
It's true. So yeah, most of the time when I'm interacting with someone, I'm on some point or another. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I wouldn't do that in person, if that makes sense.
All right. Yeah. My answer is gonna follow that up if I remember what you said in 2 minutes.
Fair enough.
If not, I'll remember it in my car when I hear this.
Mr.
Oh,
Mickey.
I should have said that. No, I think I'm going to go along with that. I think when you've got a mic in front of you, and 9 times out of 10, when I have a mic in front of me, I'm not in the studio. I am at the bar or in a venue where I'm in front of everybody and they're waiting for that next smart aleck comment or whatever I'm going to do. So I think it lends itself for that freedom where you can say whatever you want because you've got a mic, though we all self-govern ourselves. And like Richard said, he even felt the effects of what he inadvertently said to whoever
But do you think it would do it? You would do it?
No.
Like that? No, okay.
No, I don't think. I think there's a lot. And I think a lot of in just regards to some of what you said, you say you're kind of a hermit when you're at home. I think a lot of people would find it. I mean, you guys are all friends of mine, and you've seen me outside of, just at home. I'm just as happy with NPR or no music at all in my workshop, just doing stuff and not being in the public eye. I just happen to choose part of a career path that put me in front of everybody, and I do enjoy it, and I think a lot of what we've done has done a lot of good for a lot of other people with fundraising and so forth. But I'm though I enjoy that being out there, and I do say things that otherwise I wouldn't say if I didn't have that format. Like you say, you're on when you talk to people. I know that I'm the same way. I know that I'm oftentimes I am. But I mean, what is it, Barbara? You said put a couple beers in the Barefoot Contessa and see how she feels about it. I mean,
ask her about Orientals.
You get it. You get me a couple drinks in, and it starts. That
lowers
quiet
those
shield.
inhibitions.
Yeah, and then I just start spouting off. But no, I'm similar to what Kat just said. I'm just as happy working in my backyard on something or in my shop and not being on that stage, but the mic lends my mouth to run a little more. Yeah. I mean, and here's another. I mean, we say stuff here that I don't think we would necessarily say sitting on the patio of a local restaurant.
I'm already worried about Thanksgiving because I'm certain my mother has downloaded at least one, and I'm like, oh no.
So that's what she was doing.
Catherine, can we talk?
Seriously. No, she would never, though. She will just silently judge me. She won't even say a word.
And just push play?
Look at you from a distance.
No, she'll just silently be like, how's the podcast?
Oh, I'm going to share my Paula Dean video.
Mother.
Drink a lot. Drink a lot, do ya?
Do ya?
Do ya?
Do ya?
Perkins.
Definitely. And I think the one difference between me now and me 10 years ago is like
20 pounds? What?
Oh, more than 20. Tell me when you
I was not ready for that.
Tell me when you hit like 45.
I really wasn't ready for that. Sorry about spit up.
Like now when I'm like I make a very, and it's called I call it my moment of zen most of the time, is like I make sure that when I go to work in the attitude of like being a pleasant human being to be around. And it's kind of a little
small
bit,
window.
It's a little bit on. Yeah, it's a little bit on because I want to make sure I get there in the right mood. Like I'm being paid to be there and do my job and not be a complete and total asshole to people. Mm-hmm. So I try to like put that out there of like, we have to get through this together. So we're going to do it with a positive attitude or I'm going to fucking sucker punch you.
Right.
Like we're going to do this pleasantly and with as much fake happy or whatever kind of, we're going to get through this alive and still like each other. But at 7:31, I just shut down now. Where before it would maybe continue on. But when I'm off work and I'm like the dial is down to 0. Like I got nothing to offer. I just want to if you take me to a bookstore, I just want to wander around a bookstore and like stare at the books. Like I don't.
The actual bookstore, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Where do you find one of those anymore?
We just did in California. Like
wasn't there one across the street?
We found a Barnes and Noble at now there's a Changing Hands right across the street. We found a Barnes and Nobles at 3rd Street Promenade, and like to go in and it's like I just want to like stare at stuff. Like I really want to turn the dials all the way to 0, but then when it comes up and it's time to like be it, then it's like, well,
yeah.
Then it comes out of my mouth and I'm like, and there's a lot of times that stuff comes out of my mouth and like there was no reason for that. Like there was no reason to
oops.
And I don't bite as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to have the habit of like what you were talking about with someone like coming back to you at a performance where they would make a small shot and I would finish the war. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I went to war and won. Like I could never come back in like a polite, kind, fun way at your level.
And I feel like I do that. I try to do that.
Yeah, but and that was something that I had to learn over a long period of time. Personal life and like out socially or like out at bar, working in a bar for all that time. Like anytime somebody like just tried to get a mild dig, it was just a kill shot.
Oh yeah,
like,
I feel like I bite more than I used to.
Yeah.
I say to people all the time, I'm not as sweet as I used to be.
Yeah, and I think I've gone the other way where now I'm like, go ahead. Yeah. Throw what you got. I'll hit you with as weak an ammo as you just did. Like we don't have to take this to DEF CON 4. So then the follow-up question was like, do you feel there's a curtain between like, and I think that's what the problem with the internet is, that you think that there's like an invisibility cloak. Like, do you ever feel like that when you're on?
I don't. And
but you've seen it in other performers, right?
Yes, but also what I was going to say is, if someone doesn't like or comment on something that I say or do, I have the foolish idea that no one else saw it. And so sometimes even whenever I'm kind of like rough with somebody on Facebook or opinionated about something, someone will later say to me, oh yeah, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh really? And like, I always forget that
you could just like something without...
It's a further reach than you
can
know.
anonymously look.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just because only 2 people said something about it, that doesn't mean only 2 people read it. You know, there's 50 people who saw you read somebody for filth or eat someone's lunch or so I gave up anonymity a long time ago, but
and I'm not saying it's real, but do you ever get that? Or see it in others? And you're around a lot more performers than, especially I am now. Like, but do you see it in other people that you think? Do you think we don't know it's you under the like that?
No, I don't know.
I don't know if there's anybody out there anymore that does that kind of stuff.
About some of that kind of stuff, actually. Like, I am a little, I don't know, naive is the right word. I'm a little naive as being as worldly as I am. Like, I still kind of believe more than I probably should.
Okay. Do you ever, if not in yourself, do you ever see it in people that are like performing that you think, oh, they don't think we know who they are?
Yeah, probably. I can't think of an example, but I'm certain I've been
put on this outfit and you don't know me anymore. Like, I'm different.
Well, I see that a lot, but I don't like to tell about customers who pretend to be anonymous.
I've seen this in a couple, not to interject.
Please
here.
do.
I think, I'll say one, I'm not going to say a name, but I think there's been a performer, a couple in this town that I know of in the past 20 years, where it's just been a name change. And all of a sudden, they're a new fucking person, and we're not supposed to remember anything they ever did before.
The baggage.
All the baggage, all prison time, any of that. There's been performers like that for the years, where they just come out, all of a sudden you don't see them for 6 months, and they come out and maybe they have a new nose, maybe they don't, maybe they have a new different outfit, but all of a sudden it's a name. Oh, I'm no longer this person, I'm this person.
Right.
And you're just supposed to forget and forgive everything that was ever pre-existing.
So you kind of get what I'm going for. Like, and I saw it so much in people in town of like, I still know who you, like, you can't, like, but mine would be the opposite. Like, they'd be like, and I think you were talking about it with like people that like only want you at, when they need you, and the rest of the time they act, then they're like, I still know you're the fucker that only asks for help then. Like,
we were just talking about that earlier in the evening.
But that's what I'm saying. So sometimes the cloak of invisibility works the other way, where you, like, now you think because it's time that you don't need me, that I don't see you, like, we're in the same room, and now, like, I'm raising money for a cause, I'm asking for something, and you're acting like I can't see you over there by the dartboard.
You know what? It's funny that you mention that, because about people who need you for things. There is actually one person, again, I won't mention a name or what business they own, that if they walked in the room, I wouldn't know them. I know them by name. I know the business they own. And they friend requested me a long, long time ago, and it's still sitting there, but I don't know him.
Right.
We don't know each other. And I am apprehensive because and Barbara knows this as well as I do. And you know, Kat, maybe you've experienced this because of your long term. Well, actually, we probably all have. Somebody's requested us. Oh, I know them. And then within 10 fucking minutes of accepting the friend request, they post something on your wall, and it has something to do with they're raising the money or some cause or something. And I'm like, you don't really give a shit about that. You're just using the fact that maybe you've got 150 people and I have 5,000 friends or whatever. They're just trying to use the platform. And I know that's happened to Barbara, where they try to use your name to represent whatever they're doing. And it drives me, or fuck that. When they tag me in something, like they're doing an event.
I hate that.
Let's say they're doing an event that I have absolutely
nothing to do with.
Dwarf tossing in Jello.
Oh no!
Something.
Now you could tag me if you're doing dwarf tossing.
My bad.
Please call me.
Deal.
No, but so
tag me, call me, sign me up.
You're doing some event that I have no desire to go to, no interest in, nothing. You've never talked to me about it, and then you tag me. Oh, you have no idea how quickly I run to my computer and untag myself from things. things.
Oh yeah.
A lot. But
Every crappy flyer for every crappy thing that ever happens at the bar, they want to tag me in it.
But I'm
Stop it!
Yeah, I'm just apprehensive about accepting this one friend. I think I'm being too cautious about it. I really should go to the business face to face to the guy and say, "I'm Clayton, blah blah blah. You're so and so," and that's just. And then once I knew them, I would probably feel better about it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like once I do that click, and it's there, it's going to be uglier if I have to unfriend the person.
Yeah. And I just
It's
feel
fairly
there's
silent when you unfriend them. Like they get a notification when you get friended, and then when you like 2 weeks later unfriend them, they're like, "Oh, when did that happen?"
I don't
Yeah.
know how that happened.
Oh, weird.
But I
Yeah.
have learned that you don't delete the friend request because they can then they can't re-request you unless they delete it.
Right.
So you just let them hang
Just
in
let it sit
purgatory.
there.
Oh, I haven't. I'm almost
Until-
at
I'll take
200.
Take passive aggressive for
Mine is
$5,
always
Alex.
until I remember who you are. You're gonna sit there because until something jogs my memory
Click.
of like,
I know,
who
right.
is this person?
Right, same thing.
But I just say that because there's so much online now of people saying shitty things about people that hide behind an anonymous title, a fake name, and then it kind of happens in the community of people like just bagging on something for no fucking reason. Like Pride happens, and then you get like 8,000 people just bitching about it, but then they're there, and you're like you're not invisible. Like we see you. So I just it's the difference between like. That sounds wrong. I don't want to say it that way, but it's just and so there's kind of that thing with Facebook of just being accountable for what, like everything on this show. I'm sure if you read me a list, it'd be like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, tell me I didn't say that.
And then we can go back and pull the audio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and play
you
the
did.
audio, but at the same time, it'd be like, well, play it in context. Was it? You know, did I cringe with you? Then we're fine. Or do you know what I mean?
Did Kat write it down as a
As a listener we lost, like
a minority group that we've already?
yeah.
Goodness gracious!
Alienated?
3 weeks in, and this list is
Because
long.
We'll get you
I'm
more
pretty
legal
sure-
pads if you need it.
So
I have
that's what I
stacks.
mean about people just trying to be anonymous when we can see you. But my thing with the drag is always the opposite way. The people that out of drag think you don't know that that's them. You know what I mean? And they try to get away with something, and it's like,
Well, and there are people, and I think.
and
Again,
not just drag, but just for
I
fun.
don't want to throw out.
Sure.
I don't want to throw out this particular name because this person's quite well known. But there are such night and day with the person in drag is larger than life and would say anything, but out of drag, like a wallflower.
Eyes to the floor.
Wouldn't see. Won't look
But
in the eye.
that's common a lot in people that perform. Is that outside of the performance realm, they really are very shy. Like that's how they get
Yeah.
out. That all of that comes out that way. I mean, that's kind of a performer thing.
Yeah, but I think what Clayton is speaking
Oh, I
to,
I definitely know what you mean by that. I do.
you know, is just balls and nerve and audacity.
Yeah.
More than just comfort or confidence
Yeah.
or whatever.
We just live in a weird
Like you
time.
get your
of-
ass kicked if you said that
Right. Just
Monday afternoon.
Right. But
But on Friday night, it's a different story.
right. Or
Right.
when it's showtime, you can just say whatever the fuck you want. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's hilarious." But if you it's out of take it out of context on Monday afternoon, 4:30. You don't just lip off to somebody like that.
Suddenly you're a little more remorseful and contrite.
Even
and
if you're
considerate.
even if you're saying it to the same person, you just couldn't get away with it.
But you meant it differently.
No. After 4 shots of
and
Southern
that's,
Comfort.
that's exactly what I mean. Is like
Just saying.
I know who it is now. I know.
Hypothetically.
I think
Right.
I think the timeline kind of spells it out for even those of us that don't go to the bar at those times. But no, but that's what I mean about the things, the shitty things you say. Like
changed to protect the guilty.
The guilty.
it's just that feeling of like the shitty things that you post thinking you're anonymous. People know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's gonna like, and I mean it all in the. I'm asking for personal stories from everybody, but I mean it from that defamation thing of like, as this
Well-
goes international, if you start saying shit and somebody like pulls a jihad on your ass. You said it. Like, you got to own it. You got to be like, yep, that's what I stood for. I hope that they're respectful or kill you.
The idea of digital anonymity is disappearing. Like, you're leaving a digital footprint.
Right.
Like,
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
yeah, I mean, where you're coming from, and I think where this is coming from, like, the idea of being anonymous online is becoming such a small possibility.
Right.
Because you're just logged in, you're connected, you linked your Facebook to every little fucking thing you just did. Like, it's not going to be an issue soon, I think.
Yeah.
You know what's
And
one
I think it's an important change to getting people to sit to like have a little common courtesy and a little respect. I mean, we're taking it all from we're all in a different place where we've all hosted things and been in front of microphones and done things that you know what I mean. We kind of had to go somewhere different. That if it was for housewives, that the best thing they ever did was drive their Toyota. But
Listen, those women can be mean.
write down housewives.
and Toyota.
There goes my whole listenership.
So I don't know. It would have been interesting, but I'm out of control. So fun times.
That was actually
interesting.
real quickly on The View today. I thought that was funny when they approached the Tracy Morgan Walmart thing, which I meant to talk about today. They had to specifically do their disclaimer that hey, Walmart is a sponsor, and it's very awkward when we have to talk about things like this because Walmart is now blaming Tracy Morgan.
No.
And
For not wearing
this
a
wouldn't have
seatbelt.
happened to you if you were wearing a seatbelt.
Maybe we can talk about that next week if Barbara will join us again because Marnie Ryer is out. It's the end of hour 3. Well, actually 3 hours and 17 minutes. It's the show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton along with Cat Stevens, almost Cat Carlson,
Cat Stevens.
Richard Stevens,
Cat Stevens, wow.
Al Perkins. I'm Clayton
How
McKee.
old are you?
Let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you, Richard.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America.